He nodded reluctantly, but the second Leng Qingqiu left, Mu Chuan tried to run after her. Leng Qingqiu's face darkened, and she grabbed him hard. Mu Chuan, stop right there. Mu Chuan yanked his hand away and screamed, Mom, you're all kicking me out anyway, so why do you even care? He was sobbing uncontrollably, acting like he was the ultimate victim. Seeing his tears, Leng Qingqiu's heart melted instantly. She hugged him tightly. Chuan, Chuan, how could mommy ever abandon you? Nearby, Mu Jianhua was quietly wiping his own tears. Just then, Mu Yulu stood up. Mom, Dad, are you happy now that Chuan is being bullied? Look at what he's been reduced to. You're both going to regret this. As she spoke, her eyes kept darting over to me. But this little farce was only just beginning. Mu Yulu clearly wanted to talk back, but she didn't even dare to look me in the eye, terrified I'd punch her again. Leng Qingqiu was clearly full of regret, but she absolutely refused to tell the truth. All she could do was hold Mu Chuan and cry. Chuan, don't cry. We're not moving. You're staying right here at home. But out of nowhere, Mu Yulu snapped, no. Since Mu Chuan isn't your biological son, he has to leave. Mom, Dad, don't forget that Xiao Zhe is your actual flesh and blood. While you're busy protecting Mu Chuan, have you ever stopped to think about what Xiao Zhe has been through? Doing chores at 5 years old, working part-time at 12. Abused his entire childhood, you finally brought him home, just so he could keep suffering like this? The moment those words left her mouth, the entire Mu family froze. Ironic, considering Mu Yulu was the one who came up with those vicious plans in the first place. And now she was suddenly feeling sorry for me? Mu Chuan started bawling even louder. Big sister, please don't hate me. Mu Yulu remained completely expressionless, pressing them coldly. Mom, Dad, restore Xiao Ji's true identity, and send Mu Chuan back to where he belongs. Mu Jianhua exploded in a fit of rage. Mu Yulu, are you insane? Sending Chuan back to a family like that? How is he supposed to survive? I absolutely forbid it. Hearing those words, an uncontrollable wave of bitterness washed over me. It was the lingering despair of the original body's soul. So they didn't know how much I suffered. They just didn't care. Tears streamed down my face uncontrollably. I clutched my chest, but I couldn't wipe the tears away fast enough. A moment later, I grabbed Leng Qingqiu's hand. Mr. Leng, let's go. Once we were back at the Leng estate, the more I thought about it, the angrier I got. Why the hell did Mu Chuan and that toxic family get to keep all the benefits? Instead of swallowing this anger, I was going to blow them all straight to hell. I whipped out my phone right then and there and dialed that bastard of an adoptive father. The second it connected, a furious roar blasted through the speaker. You little punk, you actually dared to block my number? Just wait till I catch you, see if I don't make you pay. I was originally planning to toss you 100 grand out of respect. But since you're acting so damn tough, wouldn't it be better if I just kept the cash for myself? After going back and forth a few times, I waited for his call again. I beat him to the punch. Mu bye, if you want the cash, you'd better kiss my ass. Got it? The breathing on the other end hitched, followed by the sound of grinding teeth. Xiao Zhe, Dad was wrong. I raised an eyebrow. You want the cash? Go outside and yell I am a piece of trash 3 times, then I'll think about making the transfer. How dare you play? Before he could even finish his cursing, I hung up on him again. Don't go regretting it later and whining that I'm unfilial. Before I could even finish my sentence, a desperate shout suddenly came through the phone. I'll yell it. Right after that, the phone blasted. I am a piece of trash. After yelling, Mu Bai asked impatiently. You should give me the money now, right? I chuckled. That'll do. So where is it? When are you transferring it? I played completely dumb. Transfer what? I hung up the phone again, totally satisfied. My whole body felt so damn refreshed. But it still wasn't enough to vent my anger. I decided to give him something even more thrilling. I got right up and knocked on Chen Feng's door. What's up? I flashed a wide grin. I wanted to ask you to help me rough someone up. He looked at me like I was completely out of my mind. I put my cards on the table. I need to deal with my adoptive father. But it's not exactly convenient for me to do it myself. You're a bodyguard, aren't you? So do me a favor. Chen Feng rejected me with a deadpan face. I'm a private bodyguard. I only protect Boss Leng. Is that so? I turned around and walked away, heading straight to Leng Qingqiu's door and knocking. She opened it, her eyes asking what I wanted. I gave a cheeky laugh. Were you resting? Could you let Chen Feng help me rough someone up? Without a single word, she made a call straight to Chen Feng. Go help him take care of someone. Chen Feng stood next to me, looking like he'd lost the will to live. On the way to the urban village, I showed Chen Feng a photo of Mu Bai, telling him to absolutely make sure he didn't grab the wrong guy. This bastard. Back in the day, she gave birth on the exact same day as Leng Qingqiu. Just because my adoptive mother, Lin Yanru, was jealous that my real mom had a son. She ruthlessly switched us, and because she was terrified of getting caught, she took me and ran far away. They always knew I wasn't their flesh and blood, so they tortured me mercilessly since I was a kid. If the Mu family hadn't tracked me down, I would have been sold off for a bride price a long time ago. I was going to make them learn what it means to reap what you sow. The car pulled to a stop in the urban village. I turned to Chen Feng as he got out and said, "You lure him out. And I'll be hiding in the dark to bag him." Chen Feng's eye twitched. Fine. It didn't take long. As Chen Feng led Mu Meiyu over, I threw a burlap sack right over his head. Then, I just started kicking and punching. Mu Meiyu squealed like a stuck pig. "Who's there? Help! Help me!" He was being way too loud, so I just plopped right down on top of him. Ah, finally, some peace and quiet. Chen Feng checked his breathing. "He's out cold. Call his wife. Tell her to come pick him up." Chen Feng silently pulled out his phone. I didn't bother waiting for Lin Yanru to show up. We headed straight back to the Leng estate, and I crashed the second my head hit the pillow. The next day, my alarm rudely woke me up. 6 a.m. Again. Time for another morning run with Leng Qingqiu. I swear I'm gonna drop dead from exhaustion one of these days. I dragged myself downstairs. Seeing Chen Feng already standing next to Leng Qingqiu, my heart did a little happy dance. Just as I was about to sneak back to my room to catch some more Z's, Leng Qingqiu called out to me. "Mu Jie, come here." I reluctantly shuffled over, dragging my feet behind Leng Qingqiu and Chen Feng. It was absolute torture. They both have ridiculously long legs. I was practically gasping for air just trying to keep up. 20 minutes went by, and they didn't even bother slowing down for me. I honestly couldn't take another step. My eyes darted around. Aha, I got it. I purposely faked twisting my ankle and threw myself onto the ground. Clutching my ankle, I let out a dramatic wail. Ah, it hurts. To my shock, Leng Qingqiu actually stopped. She crouched down, looking worried, and reached for my foot. I quickly yanked my foot back and blurted out, "Boss Leng, don't touch it. I've got athlete's foot." They smelled terrible, but the very next second, she actually grabbed my ankle anyway. In a low, serious voice, she said, "It's fine. I don't mind." I was completely dumbfounded. Wait, this isn't in the script. Didn't the book say this woman was a massive germaphobe? I was faking it. If she kept checking, she'd blow my cover for sure. I hurriedly snatched my foot back and limped to my feet. I probably just pulled a muscle from not warming up. "You guys keep going. I'll just head back on my own." The moment the words left my mouth, I tried to bolt. Right at that moment, Leng Qingqiu suddenly shouted behind me, "Chen Feng." I whipped my head around on pure reflex, only to see Leng Qingqiu looking at me with this knowing little smirk. "Gotcha," she smirked. "Keep running. Even if you drop dead today, you're finishing this run." After saying that, she spun around and took off. Pouting the whole way, I dragged myself behind her and somehow finished the run. I had just showered and come downstairs when the sight in front of me stopped me dead in my tracks. Leng Lingling was pinned face down on the floor by two massive bodyguards. And Leng Qingqiu was just sitting on the sofa, her eyes as cold as ice. Next second, Lin Chen slammed a thick stack of documents right in front of Leng Lingling's face. "You knew perfectly well that the second miss of the Liu family was already dead. Yet you still confessed to killing her in a drunk driving accident? Not only that, you were driving my car, wearing the exact same clothes as me. As for your little scheme, do I even need to spell it out?" Leng Lingling shook with terror. She immediately started making excuses. "Sister, I was forced into this. Madame Lu's nephew threatened me. He said he'd send me to prison if I didn't do it." I completely called her bluff without hesitation. "Don't listen to her. She just wants to steal your power and frame you." Leng Lingling instantly lost her mind and started screaming at me. "You little brat. This is my Leng family's business. Keep your mouth shut." I immediately shot a knowing look over at Leng Qingqiu. See? She's feeling guilty. Now she's lashing out because she got caught. Leng Lingling scrambled to defend herself. "I am not. Sister, please don't let him twist things. Enough. My patience has its limits. You've crossed the line. Pack your bags for overseas. And without my explicit permission, don't you ever come back." Leng Lingling completely broke down. She sobbed and begged for mercy. "Sister, please. I know I messed up. Please don't send me away." But Leng Qingqiu just stood up. "Take her away. Escort her out." I furrowed my brow. That punishment is way too light. In the original story, she tried to completely ruin Leng Qingqiu. Just as I was thinking there's no future in working for such a soft-hearted villain, who would have thought? Leng Qingqiu immediately made a phone call the very next second. Freeze all of her bank accounts. Dump her in the slums. Let her fend for herself. Back at the office, I used my free time to go gossip with the guys from the design department. "Dude, that new girl in the tech department, Xiao Tian, is drop dead gorgeous. She's 5'3", and she's even got a six-pack. Man, who's gonna be the lucky guy to score a date with her?" My interest was instantly piqued. "You guys got a picture? Let me see." My coworker, Zhang Yu, quickly showed me a photo he secretly snapped. She really was pretty, but compared to Leng Qingqiu, she was still lacking a bit. "Mu Jie, can you help me get her number? Come on, you're so handsome. She definitely wouldn't turn you down." I nodded. Alright, I'll give it a shot. I took Zhang Yu's photo and went straight over to find this Xiao Tian. But to my surprise, she took one look at the photo and flat out refused. Instead, she just locked her eyes onto me. A second later, she asked, "Do you want my number?" I quickly shook my head. "No thanks." "Well then, can you give me yours?" I shook my head again. "Nope. If I give it to you, what am I supposed to use?" She was left completely speechless. Probably thinking my brain was wired backwards, she just straight up asked me, "Do you believe in love at first sight?" That's when it finally hit me. She was totally hitting on me. But then I remembered I had just promised to help Zhang Yu get her number. Wouldn't that make me a total scumbag? Yeah, I'm definitely not doing that. I immediately shot her a cold look. "Don't flatter yourself, you're so shameless. If you don't believe me, go ask Pan Jinlian." She froze. She blurted out, "Then what kind of girls do you like?" I thought for a second and just let it rip. I like them with a big butt. Ideally, perky enough to balance a bottle on it. Huge boobs. I don't have any pecs myself. So if I can't feel my own, I'll just grab hers. Oh, right. She's gotta be loaded. I fully intend to be a kept man. And one more thing, I like them older. Over 50. And she absolutely has to have that old lady smell. To me, that's the scent of a sugar mama. It smells so sweet. Xiao Tian's mouth twitched. Your tastes are certainly unique. Guess I don't make the cut. Then, I noticed her playing a new mobile game our company just developed. I instantly got curious and bugged her to let me play around. We were right in the middle of laughing and joking around when Zhou Qian came rushing over. "Xiao Zhe, Boss Leng needs to head out for a business dinner. She's pissed that she can't find you. Hurry back." The moment I heard that, I dropped the game completely. I sprinted back with her immediately. The second I stepped into the office, I was hit by an icy, freezing aura. I asked very carefully, "Boss Leng, you were looking for me?" Leng Qingqiu slowly lifted her gaze. "Mu Zhe, your job is to stay by my side and protect me. From now on, you are not allowed to step away from me, not even for a second." I stared at her in total shock. "Boss Leng, does that mean I have to go with you when you take a dump?" Leng Qingqiu's face darkened. She snarled through her teeth, "Get the hell out." "But Boss Leng, didn't you say we had a business dinner to get to?" Leng Qingqiu stood up, her face completely stony. I obediently trailed right behind her. The dinner was at Jing City's most wildly expensive private club. The whole place had my head spinning. As we walked, I whispered to her special assistant, Minglang. "This place is super fancy. The food here must be absolutely amazing, right?" Minglang just smiled and nodded. I immediately followed up. "So, as a bodyguard, do I get to sit at the table and eat?" Minglang's smile froze completely. "No, you do not." "Well, can I eat their leftovers when they're done?" Minglang's face violently twitched. "Are you really that hungry? I can have the kitchen make a separate portion just for you." I shook my head. "Nah, I'm not really that hungry. I just wanted to taste the leftovers of a billionaire CEO. It'd be a great flex to brag about later." Right then, the waiter led us up to the door of a private dining room. Leng Qingqiu reached out to push the door, but I jumped in front of her. "Allow me." I pushed the door wide open. But the moment I saw inside, I froze. Sitting right there in the room was the CEO of Jing City's biggest entertainment agency, Xiao Yuying. And she had two massive A-list celebrities right by her side. As soon as they saw Leng Qingqiu, they all stood up in unison. "Right this way, please." Leng Qingqiu took her seat at the head of the table. Minglang also took a seat. Meanwhile, I could only stand completely silent right behind her. But the moment Xiao Yuying took her seat, she turned to Leng Qingqiu and said, "Boss Leng, about this movie." Xiao Yuying immediately shot a look at the award-winning actor beside her, Yan Yi. "Boss Leng, let me offer you a toast." But Leng Qingqiu didn't even bat an eyelid. Minglang quickly stood up to smooth things over. "Boss Leng isn't drinking today. I'll take this glass for him." However, another young actor named Huo Yunjian let out a cold scoff. He picked up his wine glass, deliberately dropping his voice into a deep, seductive baritone as he leaned in close. "Boss Leng, I'm Huo Yunjian. This toast is for you." His eyes were practically throwing out grappling hooks. Even I felt insecure watching that display. To everyone's surprise, Leng Qingqiu actually looked up at him and gave a faint, hum. Seeing that he had a chance, Huo Yunjian's gaze grew even more intense. As he sat back down, he shot a provocative glare at Yan Yi. Seeing this, Xiao Yuying nodded in satisfaction and immediately started her sales pitch. "Boss Leng, this sci-fi blockbuster has a massive production value. The female lead is the award-winning actress Lin Yuan. As long as you invest, I guarantee the returns will be incredible." The moment I heard that, my brain absolutely buzzed. Wait a minute, isn't this the exact movie from the original novel that lost a massive fortune? An investment of 500 million. And in the end, the female lead got busted for illegal substances. The director got caught in a massive, unspeakable group scandal, and the movie couldn't even be released. Leng Qingqiu's money went straight down the drain, and the board of directors completely lost faith in him. I couldn't let that happen. I suddenly rushed forward, and leaned down to whisper right in Leng Qingqiu's ear. Lin Yuan is on illegal substances. You absolutely cannot invest. Right after I said that, Leng Qingqiu tossed the project files onto the table. As far as I can see, there's absolutely no need to invest in this movie. Xiao Yueying's face went deathly pale. Boss Leng, are you not satisfied with the script? Or, Leng Qingqiu coldly cut her off. I just don't want to invest. Xiao Yueying was completely dumbfounded. She instantly shot a frantic look at Huo Yunjian. The guy immediately cranked up the hormones and leaned in again, even using his chopsticks to pick up some food for Leng Qingqiu. But the aura radiating from Leng Qingqiu only grew freezing cold. Unbelievably, Huo Yunjian didn't even notice. I was just about to step in, when my stomach betrayed me with a massive, rumbling growl. The entire room went dead silent. Leng Qingqiu actually raised an eyebrow at me, the corner of his mouth twitching slightly. Hungry? Come sit here. Mindlang instantly gave up his seat. Before I could even process what was happening, Leng Qingqiu was already putting food into my bowl. Eat. I stared at the table full of incredible food, practically drooling, but I still put up a weak struggle. Boss Leng, is this really okay? The very next second he snapped, if you're not going to eat, get out. I'm eating. Xiao Yueying just stared at us, completely and utterly shocked. Huo Yunjian's chopsticks froze in midair with the food still gripped between them. I actively shoved my bowl toward him. Hey handsome, just drop that right in here. Our boss Leng is a very picky eater. He can't handle spicy food. For the rest of the dinner, it was just me eating, and eating some more. While Leng Qingqiu kept serving me food. I absolutely demolished 3 massive bowls of rice. After we'd eaten and had our fill, Leng Qingqiu grabbed me and we headed straight out. But the moment we stepped out of the private room, we bumped right into a group of people. Leading the pack were none other than Liu Yushin and Liu Qingyao. Liu Yushin stepped right up and blocked our path. He locked eyes with Leng Qingqiu and squeezed out 2 words. President Leng. But Leng Qingqiu couldn't even be bothered to glance at him. She just sidestepped him to leave. But I suddenly tugged at the corner of her jacket. My eyes were dead locked on the miserable-looking director standing next to them. I knew it. This guy was destined to be a massive hit in the future. I lowered my voice. Boss Leng, if you're going to invest in that director right there. His show is guaranteed to blow up. To my surprise, Leng Qingqiu actually stopped, following my gaze. Then she walked over and handed the director a business card. Looking for investment? Go to the Leng Group and ask for Joe. That director was just a frustrated nobody at the time. But now, clutching that card, he was almost crying tears of joy. He bowed frantically and bolted. But of course, right at that moment, Liu Qingyao had to jump in. She actually tried to warn her. President Leng, you probably don't know this, but that Wang Yuanmu is a total fraud. Not a single one of his movies is any good. I'd highly advise you to. Leng Qingqiu shot her a death glare, her tone freezing cold. Are you trying to tell me how to do my job? Naturally, I had to step up and defend my boss. I threw up a middle finger right at Liu Qingyao. Thanks for the tip. Our boss Leng might not have everything, but what she does have is a hell of a lot of cash. Like she needs your advice. Why don't you mind your own damn business? You little. Right then, Liu Yushin plastered on a smile and stepped up again. President Leng, but Leng Qingqiu was already walking away. She practically had, I don't give a damn, written across her forehead. Being humiliated in public by his own biological daughter. Liu Yushin's face turned completely green. I watched Leng Qingqiu walk away. I realized that drawing so much heat so early on could blow our cover. If this old fox decided to stab us in the back, we wouldn't see it coming. So, I quickly leaned in and whispered to Liu Yushin, Boss Leng is having a really bad period right now. Terrible cramps. She's probably rushing to the bathroom to change her pad as we speak. That's why she ignored you. Please, don't take it personally. Sure enough, the tense aura around him softened a bit. I immediately dialed up the acting. I let out a heavy sigh, looking totally worried. It's an old issue. It's been so heavy lately. She accidentally leaked a little. She's probably hiding in the bathroom right now trying to clean her skirt. Don't worry, President Liu. Staring at my deadpan, serious face, the muscles in Liu Yushin's jaw just kept twitching. I leaned in closer and whispered in his ear, Boss Leng is terrified of being laughed at. You absolutely cannot tell anyone, got it? You always took such good care of me in the past, which is the only reason I'm giving you the inside scoop, President Liu. Just as I thought, he instantly got the hint. He raised an eyebrow, his expression growing incredibly friendly. Xiao Zhe, I always knew you were a good kid. I gave Liu Yushin a little smile, and held up 2 fingers. Mr. Liu, you know I'm just a bodyguard. If you want a favor, you've got to offer a little something. You know what I mean? Who knew that old fox, Liu Yushin, would flip a switch in a split second, smoothly deflecting it right back at me. Xiao Zhe, you're overthinking it. The only reason I care about the Leng family's business is because of Yanran's car accident. If you're willing to help me feel out Ms. Leng's intentions, there will be plenty in it for you when the time comes. Hey, playing it safe, huh? But that wasn't going to stop me. I let out a loud, dramatic sigh. I don't know anything about Ms. Leng suing you all, but I did hear a little rumor. She's already looking into the car crash from a couple days ago. Turns out, she found out the driver received a massive anonymous payout. And word on the street is, it came straight from a Liu family account. I stopped right there. I cut myself off, and just as I expected, Liu Yushin's face drained of color. He instantly wired me 500,000. Xiao Zhe, keep a close eye on Ms. Lang's moves for me. If anything comes up, tell me right away. Don't you worry, Mr. Liu. I've got this in the bag. I gave him a cheeky eyebrow raise. Payment received. I watched him scurry off in a panic. Right after that, grinning from ear to ear, I went to catch up with Leng Qingqiu. But the moment I reached the corner of the hallway, I saw a handsome guy standing right in front of her. It was none other than that rising star, Huo Yunjian. I instantly darted behind the wall to hide. I peeked my head out, just in time to see Huo Yunjian staring down at Leng Qingqiu with these deep, adoring eyes. I really want a role in this movie. As long as you invest in it, I'll do absolutely anything you want. I blinked hard. This pretty boy was really putting it all out there. To my shock, Leng Qingqiu actually responded. Her voice was cold and lazy. You'll do anything? Huo Yunjian nodded eagerly, but the very next second, then get lost. If you ever dare show your face in front of me again, I'll make sure you disappear from the capital for good. I gasped. Huo Yunjian's face completely froze. He spun on his heels and ran for his life. Just then, with her back still turned to me, Leng Qingqiu muttered in a low voice. Get your ass over here. Somehow, I just knew she was talking to me. I awkwardly shuffled over to her. To my surprise, she just held her hand out to me. How much did you scam out of him this time? 500,000. Leng Qingqiu let out a cold laugh. You've got some serious nerve. Making up rumors about me now, are we? I froze. How are her ears this good? How the hell did she know what I said? Ms. Leng, I swear I didn't. Obviously, I wasn't going to admit to it. I was just having really bad cramps. I had a little leak, and had to sneak off to the bathroom to wash my skirt. Oh, so you weren't the one who said that? I was completely floored. How did you know? Leng Qingqiu didn't say a word. She just flicked her eyes down to the smartwatch on my wrist. Just as I was standing there scared out of my mind, she just rubbed the bridge of her nose. Don't ever say something like that again. Keep the money, but I'm having our corporate lawyers give you a crash course in basic law. Stop scamming every cent you can get your hands on. Otherwise, the next time I see you, it'll be in a prison cell. I let out a breath of relief. When it comes to that, I'm not scared at all. Relax, Boss Leng. No need to school me on the law. I'm just afraid that knowing too much wouldn't be good for my future wife. Leng Qingqiu looked at me with a face full of question marks. What kind of twisted logic is that? I fired back with absolute confidence. Haven't you heard? Study criminal law to win over your sweetheart, but study civil law to sue your partner. Leng Qingqiu was completely speechless. Just then, Minglang came rushing over. I leaned in curiously and whispered to her. Minglang, what was Xiao Yueying pestering you about just now? But Minglang brushed it off with a casual excuse. Oh, nothing much. She just wanted to get in touch with Boss Leng about an investment. Oh, really? Deliberately dragged out my words. You have no idea. Before you got here, Huo Yunjian came over and practically threw himself at our Boss Leng. Aren't you curious about how she reacted? To my surprise, Minglang just smiled. Boss Leng turned him down. Next time anyone goes snooping around about Boss Leng's schedule, send them my way. There's something in it for you. The moment those words left her mouth, Leng Qingqiu stopped dead in her tracks. I slammed right into her back. Whoa, so soft. I rubbed my nose and glared up at her. Boss Leng, why did you stop so suddenly? But then, Leng Qingqiu stared down at me from her high horse. Mu Zhe, I can hear you. I swallowed hard, forcing myself to reply. Well, then just pretend you didn't. I never expected Leng Qingqiu to actually laugh out of sheer exasperation. She reached out and pinched my cheek hard. Don't push your luck. I stared blankly at Minglang, who looked just as dumbfounded. What the heck did she mean by that? Minglang's jaw practically hit the floor as she slowly shook her head. She had clearly never seen this side of Leng Qingqiu either. Once we got back to the Leng family estate, the second we stepped into the grand hall, we could hear loud sobbing echoing from inside. Sister-in-law, Lingling is your niece too. How could Qingqiu just banish her overseas without a second thought? You know how much she loves to stir up trouble. What if something terrible happens to her out there? Sister-in-law, please, you have to talk some sense into Qingqiu. Tell her to bring her back. We're all family here. Is she really trying to tear this house apart? Before she could even finish her sentence, Leng Qingqiu strode right into the room. The sobbing relatives instantly went pale, completely choking on their own words. Meng Jiaoyu spotted us and immediately demanded answers. Qingqiu, they're saying you had Lingling dumped halfway across the world. What on earth is going on? Leng Qingqiu's face was terrifyingly dark. Mom, stay out of this. Seeing that Meng Jiaoyu was about to cave in again, I quickly cut her off. I stepped up and leaned close to her ear. Madam, the second miss tried to hurt Boss Leng. Boss Leng just wanted to teach her a little lesson, that's all. She'll be perfectly fine, but, if she needs to be taught a lesson, couldn't she do it here? Why on earth did she have to send her overseas? Xiao Zhe, I put you there to keep an eye on Qingqiu, not to join in on her reckless nonsense. Right then, Lin Ru cried and said, Qingqiu, your second aunt is begging you. Please let Ling Ling go, okay? She is your sister, you can't be this heartless. Leng Yangxi also wiped her tears, joining in. Qingqiu, Ling Ling was tricked. Do you really want to see a mother bury her own child? Suddenly, Leng Qingqiu, who had been silent, grabbed a fruit knife from the table and pressed it against his neck. Leng Qingqiu, if you still see me as your uncle, then bring Ling Ling back, otherwise, I'll end it right here in front of you. Everyone was backing Leng Qingqiu into a corner. But did anyone stop to think? When they engineered that car crash and made her take the fall, did they ever think of sparing her? I couldn't hold back anymore. Enough. Crying, crying, crying. That's all you people do. If you had actually disciplined Ling Ling in the first place, would she have teamed up with outsiders to backstab her own flesh and blood sister? Your daughter was just sent overseas, it's not like she's dead. You're acting like this is some tragic farewell. And you, Leng Yangxi, at your age, the only thing you're good at is emotional blackmail. Dropping to your knees at the drop of a hat. Your knees are so weak. You really need some calcium. And you, if you've got the guts, then slit your throat. A grown man acting like a drama queen. Crying, screaming, and threatening suicide. If you have any balls, do it right now. The second you drop dead, I'll convince your wife to remarry. Force your daughter into an arranged marriage for the bride price, and take back all your assets. Your death would only do us a massive favor. We couldn't even pray for a gift that good. Do it, or you're nothing but a coward. The hand Leng Qingqiu was using to hold the knife instantly started shaking. He only wanted to scare us, but now he had backed himself into a corner. You are a complete pest. A married woman who constantly comes back to her family just to stir up trouble. Why don't you tell your own daughter to be a decent human being? You've really mastered the art of the double standard. Leng Yangxi trembled all over with rage. You're just a bodyguard. How dare you speak to me like that? I immediately turned on the act, pretending to be terrified as I hid behind Meng Jiaoyu. Ma'am, I'm so scared. I just couldn't stand seeing them bully you two like this. I was just speaking the truth. By now, Meng Jiaoyu had also made up her mind. Just leave, I am not getting involved in this. Qingqiu knows exactly what she's doing. Lin Ru completely panicked. Sister-in-law, Ling Ling vanished as soon as she went overseas. I can't even wire money to her card anymore. Something must have happened to her. Please tell me where she is. Let me go find her, please. Right at that moment, I suddenly raised my hand. I know. Instantly, every single pair of eyes locked onto me. Even Leng Qingqiu looked over at me. She hadn't even told me a thing. Meeting their stares, I slowly spoke up. She's abroad. Hurry up and go find her. That completely stunned them into silence. Qingqiu, Leng Qingqiu tried to say something else. But Leng Qingqiu impatiently cut him off. Chen Feng, throw them out. But these guys just wouldn't take a hint until it was too late. They had no intention of leaving. So, I just rolled up my sleeves. Tossing people out is my specialty. Let me handle this. Leng Qingqiu froze completely, clearly remembering the sheer terror of the last time I chucked him out. He scrambled wildly for the door, but I snatched him right by his tie. Hey, what's the rush? Let's step outside for a little chat. I have nothing to say to you. Leng Qingqiu was absolutely paralyzed with fear. I just blinked innocently. What are you so afraid of? I'm not gonna eat you. And just like that, I half-dragged, half-hauled him out the door. Leng Yangxi and Lin Ru had no choice but to grit their teeth and follow us. Meng Jiaoyu looked worried. Your second uncle has always hated Xiao Zhe. Will he be alright out there all by himself? Hearing this, Leng Qingqiu just smiled. Mom, even I don't dare mess with him. Just relax. Back in the study, Leng Qingqiu opened up an audio surveillance app. Your daughter is completely fine, so just relax. Leng Qingqiu let out a heavy sigh. Leng Qingqiu is completely ruthless. There's no way she'd let her off the hook that easily. She tossed your daughter into a Chinese nightclub down in Florida to work as a hostess. Once she learns her lesson, she'll bring her back. A hostess? Leng Qingqiu's eyes nearly popped out of his head. With his daughter's fragile little frame? I quickly jumped in to clarify. She's not sleeping with anyone. It's just, exotic dancing. But, if she throws herself at guys voluntarily, well, that's out of my hands. I swear, I patted my chest, promising him. Look, we're on the same side here. Why would I lie to you? Leng Qingqiu finally let out a massive sigh of relief. Right at that moment, Leng Yangxi and Lin Ru marched over. The look in their eyes said they wanted to swallow me alive. My stomach dropped. If I make enemies out of them now, things are gonna get real ugly for me later. I nudged Leng Qingqiu's arm. You didn't tell them who I really am? Leng Yangxi and Lin Ru looked completely clueless. To my absolute shock, Leng Qingqiu actually stepped up to explain for me. He's an undercover agent the big boss planted right by Leng Qingqiu's side. He's one of ours. He was only going after us to earn Leng Qingqiu's trust. Ling Ling is safe. Xiao Zhe already slipped me her address. Instantly, Lin Ru shot me this incredibly grateful look. I was completely dumbfounded. I mean, this guy's mental gymnastics, absolutely top tier. But out of nowhere, Leng Yangxi pulled out a small pill bottle and shoved it into my hands. Find a way to slip this into Leng Qingqiu's food. My heart skipped a beat. What is this? Leng Yangxi's voice was ice cold. That's none of your business. Just do as you're told. These absolute psychos. They've seriously lost their minds. They actually want me to drug her? There was no way in hell I was doing that. But I pocketed the bottle anyway. Don't worry, consider it done. But, Leng Yangxi frowned. But what? I glanced around again, looking like I had something to say, but couldn't. She caught on immediately. Let's go talk at my second brother's place. And just like that, I was led to the side courtyard, to Leng Zhongping's place. The second we stepped into the study, the smile completely vanished from Leng Yangxi's face. Spit it out. You don't have to worry about anyone eavesdropping here. Everyone here works for my second brother. I gave a nod. Acting like I finally made up my mind, I said, Madam, haven't you noticed something off? Noticed what? I spelled it out for her, word by word. That Lu Dai, he's just using you. Leng Yangxi frowned instantly. Don't talk nonsense. He is my own flesh and blood brother. How could he possibly be using us? Leng Zhongping chimed in. Mu Zhe, whose side are you even on? Why are you spouting this garbage? Look, I'm just trying to do you a favor by warning you. And you don't even believe me. Fine, then let me ask you this. Back when he drained the Leng Group's assets, staged his own daughter's kidnapping for the ransom, and faked his death to run off with his lover, did he ever reach out to you? You are his own flesh and blood, his brother and sister. So why didn't he leave you a single dime? He just dumped a massive mess in your laps. If Madam's family hadn't stepped in to save the day, the Leng Group would have gone bankrupt ages ago. For all you know, one of you would be hauling bricks at a construction site right now, and the other washing dishes in some cheap diner. Lu Dai was completely Mia for 15 years. Why the hell is he suddenly reaching out to you now? Haven't you ever questioned it? The Lu family's investments just tanked, forcing them to move from Nanchang to the capital. If the Lu family were still the richest people in Nanchang, do you honestly think he would have even remembered you existed? That's impossible, my brother said. He lost his memory. He said Lu Rian was the one who saved him. He reached out to us the second he got his memory back. He was just afraid my sister-in-law and Qingqiu would hate him. So he hid it from them. Then how do you explain Lu Qingyao being only a few months younger than Qingqiu? And you actually buy that bullshit? It's painfully obvious that they were involved way before. You saying, it was my brother who secretly transferred the assets back then, which completely broke the Leng Group's cash flow? And he staged that whole kidnapping himself? Just to scam my sister-in-law out of the ransom money? Leng Zhongping's face was a picture of pure disbelief. I deliberately played dumb. Did I say that? No, you must have heard me wrong. Mu Zhe, you explain this right now. What the hell is actually going on? Is this the truth? Did my brother really do all of that? Leng Yangxi's eyes were bloodshot, seething with absolute hatred. I gave a slow nod. I accidentally overheard it back when I was driving for the Lu family. You absolutely cannot breathe a word of this to Lu Dai. Otherwise, he'll never let me off the hook. But of course, if you guys still don't believe me, you can look into that woman, Lu Rian, yourselves. I reached out and patted Leng Zhongping's shoulder. You really don't believe it? Let me give you a little suggestion. It'll show you whether your precious older brother actually cares about you or not. Leng Zhongping stared at me blankly. What suggestion? Didn't Leng Dai ship your daughter off overseas? Go ask your brother to quietly bring her back. It's such a simple request. Surely he can pull that off, right? And if he can't, then that proves he doesn't care about you guys at all. Leng Zhongping thought deeply for a moment, and agreed without hesitation. I'll go find my oldest brother. Leng Zhongping couldn't wait another second. He stood up and headed straight for the door. I grabbed him. Wait a minute, whatever you do not sell me out. Otherwise, if Boss Lu finds out that you know who I really am, he will definitely never trust me again. In the study, it was just me and Leng Yangxi left. Her glare was like a dagger, wishing she could see right through me. You'd better guarantee that everything you said is true, or else. So, I just swore an oath right then and there. Ma'am, I promise you, every word I said is the absolute truth. If I'm lying, I'll livestream myself eating crap. Oh, right, I also know that your husband is cheating on you with your nanny's daughter. That girl you sponsored, Songpin. That kid she had, the one she claimed was from some deadbeat? That's your husband's kid. As soon as I said that, all the color instantly drained from Leng Yangxi's face. Impossible. Tian Yunlai would never do this to me. He wouldn't. She refused to believe it. That husband who kept swearing up and down that he loved her would actually do something like this. I caught her as she swayed on her feet. Whether it's true or not, just go back and do a DNA test, and you'll know for sure. Don't worry, I've got your back. Boss Leng will help you too. We aren't heartless scumbags like your eldest brother. Leng Qingqiu was trembling all over. She wanted to deny it. But every single detail I mentioned lined up perfectly. Their nanny, Mrs. Wang. Mrs. Wang's daughter, Songpin. And Songpin's mysterious child of unknown origin. That ungrateful brat she had so kindly taken in and sponsored, turned out to be the home wrecker ruining her marriage. How could they do this to me? I comforted her. Ma'am, are you going to be alright? Leng Qingqiu forced herself to calm down and stared at me. How do you know all this? I heard Mrs. Liu talking about it when I was working as a driver for the Liu family. She said that a few months ago, she saw your husband and Songpin together, and they had a kid with them. She got curious and looked into it, and you wouldn't believe what she found out. I deliberately asked, why? Didn't he tell you? Leng Qingqiu's face darkened again. You'd better be telling the truth. Otherwise, even Leng Qingqiu won't be able to save you. I headed back to the main courtyard. Right before walking in, I tossed the pills Leng Qingqiu gave me into the trash. Only then did I go inside to report to Leng Qingqiu. Boss Leng, the job is done. Now, all you need to do is send Ling Lingling far away. Somewhere no one can find her. How about tossing her into a high-end club to work as a party girl? I was shocked. How did she have the exact same idea as me? I quickly nodded. That's a fantastic idea. After a little while, she suddenly spoke up again. Go make me a cup of coffee. Wait, isn't that the nanny's job? Leng Qingqiu shot me a cold glare. 1 million a month. Don't you feel guilty taking that kind of money? Why the hell would I feel guilty? If you're willing to pay me, ma'am, I'm more than happy to take it. Are you going or not? I'll dock your pay if you don't. Evil capitalist. I cursed under my breath as I grumbled my way downstairs to make her coffee. Halfway there, I realized I forgot the sugar. I quickly stuck a finger into the coffee and gave it a stir. Then I brought it to my lips. The next second, my whole face scrunched up from the bitterness. But what I didn't realize was, Leng Qingqiu had been watching my every move. I quietly took another sip, making sure the sweetness was just right before taking it up. I brought the coffee over and set it down next to her. As soon as I got close, I caught the intoxicating scent of roses coming from her. The entire study was filled with that sweet fragrance. Just as I looked down to set the coffee on the desk, I noticed her breathing hitch slightly, and the tips of her ears were bright red. She just stared at the coffee, not moving a muscle for the longest time. I waved my hand in front of her eyes. That finally snapped her out of it. She turned her head to look at me. Early the next morning, I got ready to go for a run with Leng Qingqiu. I was just about to follow her out when she stopped me. You can sleep in from now on. You don't need to run with me anymore. And with that, she walked away, leaving me standing there, completely baffled in the wind. Well, whatever. I was too lazy to work out anyway. And so, a quiet week went by. Today, the moment I came downstairs, I saw Leng Qingqiu crying in the living room bright and early. Meng Jiaoyu was right beside her, trying to comfort her. I walked over, full of curiosity. Madam, we've found out what's going on. Hearing my voice, Leng Qingqiu sobbed even harder. Tian Yunlai, that absolute bastard. He was nothing but a worthless illegitimate son back then. If it weren't for me, do you think he ever would have become the heir to the Tian family? And now he actually dares to. What did I ever do to deserve this? That woman Songpin is just a nanny's daughter. He really has no standards at all. Leng Qingqiu sobbed and cursed, her whole body trembling with rage. Meng Jiaoyu wrapped an arm around her shoulders to comfort her. Are you going to divorce him? Hell no, I'm not getting a divorce. Tian family belongs to my daughter and no one else. If that woman Songpin thinks she can take my place, she better look in the mirror first. The very next second, she suddenly turned to look right at me. Mu Jie, you've always got a ton of wicked ideas. Help me figure something out. I froze on the spot. Wait, was that a compliment? Sure, my mouth is a little toxic, and maybe my morals are a bit low. But, wicked ideas, I guess my reputation precedes me. The most important thing right now is to get your husband a vasectomy, ASAP. Otherwise, if he pops out another bastard child, you're screwed. Leng Qingqiu stood up. Tian Yunlai is 45 years old. He shouldn't be able to have kids anymore, right? I let out a cold laugh. A woman at 45 hits menopause and can't have kids. A man at 45 only stops having kids if you chop his balls off. Then what should I do? I stroked my chin, and started pitching ideas. Get some weed killer and wash his junk with it. Slip some estrogen into his milk, or pick a fight and kick him straight in the crotch. Leng Qingqiu gulped hard. She looked at me with sheer terror in her eyes. If none of that works, just go to the hospital and forge some medical records. Tell him he's got a cyst growing down there. She wanted him in surgery, then bribed the doctor to completely snip his manhood off while he was under. Pure evil reincarnated. Leng Qingqiu just couldn't take it anymore. Stop giving me ideas. I'm going to make those two pay dearly. Right then, in a fit of rage, Leng Qingqiu was about to blurt out Liu Yeshan's real identity. I reacted instantly, rushing over and slapping my hand over her mouth. Madam, don't you worry about this. I'll take her outside for a quick chat. I forced a stiff smile, dragged her to the backyard, and shoved her away. My expression instantly darkened. Are you out of your damn mind? Don't you know how much the madam cares about Liu Yashin? Listen to me. If Meng Jiaoyu finds out that the man she spent years looking for turned out to be a total fraud, and even plotted to kidnap her own biological daughter, she would completely break down on the spot. If you just tell her flat out that Leng Qingqiu has been gone this whole time, at least time can heal that wound. She'd shed some tears and move on. But Leng Yangxi just gritted her teeth, looking like an absolute psycho who would drag everyone else down to hell with her. I was just about to warn her again, when her phone suddenly blared. The second she answered, all the color drained from her face. She instantly bolted, but I grabbed her arm. What happened? What's going on? My son, he was in a car accident. Hearing those words, the original plot of the book flashed through my mind. Leng Yangxi's son, Tian Weichuan, did indeed get into a massive crash right around this time, crippling his legs, which made his father, Tian Yunlai, completely abandon him. The bastard directly brought his illegitimate son home to take over, and that was the exact beginning of Leng Yangxi's living nightmare. I'll drive you. I made a split-second decision and rushed after her. When we rushed to the operating room, 2 men and a woman were already waiting in the hallway. Leng Yangxi's eyes were completely bloodshot as she screamed at Tian Yunlai. He was perfectly fine. How the hell did my son get into an accident? But Tian Yunlai just shoved her away with a look of utter disgust. He wasn't paying attention to the road. Who else is there to blame but himself? Beside him, that two-faced snake, Songpin, leaned in. Oh, madam, please don't worry too much. Young Master Weichuan is going to be just fine. Smack. Leng Yangxi had absolutely reached her breaking point. She slapped Songpin across the face so hard it echoed through the hall. Songpin stumbled backward from the hit, clutching her cheek with a perfectly fake look of shocked innocence. Madam, why would you hit me? Seeing this, Tian Yunlai's heart practically bled for her. He instantly pulled her tight into his arms and roared, "Are you having another psychotic episode?" If Pinpin hadn't found him and rushed him to the hospital, your son would already be dead. You ungrateful woman, how dare you hit her? Apologize to Pinpin right this second. Songpin fully leaned into her acting now, shrinking into Tian Yunlai's chest and sobbing softly. It's okay, she choked out, her fake little tears dropping perfectly onto Tian Yunlai's hand. It made him sick with worry for her. Meanwhile, Leng Yangxi was shaking violently with rage. She glared at the 2 cheating scumbags, looking like she wanted to murder them on the spot. Maybe her murderous glare was a little too real, because Songpin quickly stepped back from him, forcing a pathetic, trembling smile. Please don't be mad, madam. The young master is going to pull through, I just know it. Leng Yangxi was about to rip her to shreds, but I quickly stepped between them. Hey now, let's all just take a deep breath. There's no need to get violent. I grabbed her and dropped my voice to a harsh whisper. Now is not the time to show our hand. Suck it up and endure it. Seeing us acting so suspicious, Tian Yunlai shot me a weird, questioning look. Who are you? I instantly straightened my back. I threw my title right at them. I am Leng Qingqiu's personal bodyguard. My lady heard her cousin was in a car crash, so she sent me here specifically to check on him. The moment I said that, Tian Yunlai's expression shifted slightly. Back when Leng Qingqiu took power, she was completely ruthless, kicking Leng Zhongping and Leng Yangxi straight off the board of directors without a second thought. Everyone thought she couldn't care less about these 2 relatives, but who would have expected her to send her own personal bodyguard at a time like this? And what did that mean? It meant the ice between the Leng family and Leng Yangxi was finally starting to thaw. So, Tian Yunlai instantly slapped on a sickeningly sweet smile, stepping forward to comfort Leng Yangxi. Leng Yangxi violently shoved him away. Don't you dare touch me. I rolled my eyes so hard in my head. I seriously can't stand this idiot. Why on earth would she blow up at that scumbag right now? Isn't that just shoving him straight into Songpin's arms? Sure enough, Songpin saw her opening and swooped right in. She held onto the rejected Tian Yunlai, her eyes brimming with fake heartache. Without missing a beat, I lunged right between the 2 of them. Mr. Tian, do you have any idea how to read a woman's subtext? Tian Yunlai froze in his tracks. I gave a slight smile. When a woman says no, she actually means yes. Saying, don't touch me, is basically her begging you to hold her. And as for calling you disgusting, that is just her ultimate way of showing she cares. Tian Yunlai was completely dumbfounded. His mouth twitched violently. I struck while the iron was hot. I gave him a massive shove forward, sending him stumbling right into Leng Yangxi's arms. Madam is obviously waiting for you to sweet-talk her. This time, Leng Yangxi somehow managed to choke down her absolute disgust. She didn't push him away. Her son wasn't awake yet, and there was no way she was letting the Tian family's billions fall into the hands of a tramp like Songpin. Songpin tried to step closer, but I blocked her path. I let out a cold laugh. A husband and wife are talking right now. What business does a dirty mistress like you have here? Songpin's face instantly turned incredibly ugly, but she tried to hold her ground. I have business with the madam. Get out of my way. I immediately stepped to the side. Madam is absolutely furious right now. She will slap you so hard you'll get plastered into the wall. And we'll have to scrape you off it. Song Pin froze dead in her tracks, not daring to move a single inch. Right after that, Tian Weichuan was wheeled out of the room. The patient's bones are all set. He just needs a lot of rest. My heart skipped a massive beat. The original novel clearly said he ended up crippled. Did my little butterfly effect totally mess up the plotline? Leng Qingqiu wept tears of absolute joy, refusing to leave his side in the VIP ward. Seeing that his son was totally fine, Tian Yunlai made up some lame excuse about work and bolted. But of course, that two-faced snake Song Pin absolutely insisted on sticking around, constantly whining about how she just had to repay them for sponsoring her back in the day. A little while later, the nanny, Auntie Wang, walked in carrying a food container. Here's some homemade chicken soup I simmered. It'll be perfectly ready for young Master Weichuan to drink the second he wakes up. Hearing this, Tian Weichuan immediately waved her off. Take it away, I don't want it. But Auntie Wang was relentless, shoving the bowl right in his face. But I simmered this for hours. It would be such a waste if you didn't drink it. I instantly smelled a rat. I snatched that bowl of chicken soup right out of her hands. Took a deep breath, glared right at her, and asked, "Is this a rooster or a hen?" Wang Ma looked completely clueless. I don't know. Then he can't drink this soup. Take it back. I kept my face totally blank as I handed the bowl right back to her. Song Pin panicked and hurried forward to argue. It's just a bowl of soup, isn't it? What's the difference between a rooster and a hen? I let out a cold scoff. What's the difference between a man and a woman? That's exactly the difference between a rooster and a hen. Song Pin was completely choked by my words, speechless. But of course, this two-faced snake wouldn't give up. She shoved the bowl straight toward Leng Qingqiu. Young Master Weichuan is so weak right now. My mom just made this. You really should feed him a little. Originally, Leng Qingqiu hadn't suspected a thing. But seeing Song Pin acting so damn desperate, her face dropped. She grabbed the bowl. Without a single word, she stormed out of the hospital room and grabbed the first nurse she saw. Test the ingredients in this soup for me. I want it expedited. The second the nurse took the soup away, Wang Ma's face turned dead pale from absolute terror. Song Pin panicked instantly. She actually tried to lunge forward and snatch the bowl back. Madam, are you crazy? My mom has worked for the Tian family for so many years. And you still don't trust her? Leng Qingqiu responded with a brutal backhand slap to her face. Song Pin crashed to the floor. I trusted you people too much. That's why I let you two climb right over my head. Song Pin, did you really think I didn't know about your filthy affair with Tian Yunlai? I gave you food, I gave you clothes. And you seduced my husband. You even gave birth to a bastard child just to deceive me. Seeing that her cover was totally blown, Song Pin just ripped off her disguise. She violently shook off her hand and let out a vicious sneer. You felt pretty damn smug when you were handing out charity, didn't you? You were born a rich little princess. Why the hell should I be the pathetic country girl begging for scraps? I just stood on the sidelines, my phone camera rolling, catching every single second. I was absolutely stunned by her twisted, mind-blowing logic. Tisk, tisk. This ungrateful leech didn't just steal someone's husband, she actually blamed a legal wife for making her feel inferior. Right at that moment, the heart monitor suddenly let out a piercing, high-pitched alarm. In the hospital bed, Tian Weichuan suddenly flatlined without warning. Taking advantage of the chaos, Wang Ma grabbed Song Pin and bolted out the door. Tian Weichuan was in the emergency room for 2 whole hours. They managed to save his life. The lab report for the chicken soup came back. It was spiked with heavy psychoactive drugs. Taking them long-term would cause hallucinations, severe depression, and even drive a person insane. Leng Qingqiu stared at the report. She instantly connected the dots to Tian Weichuan's car crash, and immediately ordered her people to investigate. They quickly found out that Wang Ma had used her position in the house to collude with Song Pin. They had been secretly drugging both Leng Qingqiu and Tian Weichuan. Thank God her daughter, Tian Mingwei, was studying far away abroad. But after learning the brutal truth, Leng Qingqiu didn't say a word. She just spun around and viciously backhanded Tian Yunlai. She delivered a few heavy, bone-rattling slaps across his face. Just as Tian Yunlai raised his hand to hit back, he bumped right into Leng Zhongping, who was walking into the hospital room with Lu Yushin. You have to remember, Leng Qingqiu was the key connector for the business deal between these two families. For the sake of that massive slice of profit, Tian Yunlai forcefully swallowed his rage and lowered his hand. Second brother, what brings you guys here? Leng Zhongping didn't even bother to look him in the eye. He just bent down and picked up the lab report from the floor. His face instantly darkened. You keep a mistress, and you even have a bastard child with her? And now, your venomous little whore actually dared to drug Weichuan? Before his voice even dropped, Leng Zhongping swung a brutal, heavy punch right into Tian Yunlai's face. In the blink of an eye, the two multi-millionaire bosses instantly broke out into a massive brawl. I just stood to the side watching, getting absolutely hyped up. Since Leng Zhongping and I were basically in the same boat now, I immediately started waving my fists and fanning the flames like crazy. Gouge his eyes out, kick him right in the balls. Poke his nose, come on, pull his hair. Lu Yushin couldn't bear to watch it anymore. With veins popping on his forehead, he rushed over and forcefully pulled the two of them apart. Tian Yunlai's face was all bruised and swollen. He glared at Leng Qingqiu with a dark, vicious look in his eyes. Look, it already happened. What the hell do you want from me? Leng Qingqiu looked at her son on the hospital bed, her heart shattering as she gritted her teeth in pure fury. Wang Ma poisoned us, and Songpian was her accomplice. I am going to make that mother and daughter rot in jail. Absolutely not. Tian Yunlai refused without a second thought. If Songpian goes to prison, his illegitimate son would carry that stain for the rest of his life. Yaoyangshi, I know I did you wrong, but what's done is done. You're going to ruin Yaoyang's life like this. Look, I'll send them abroad. Let's just pretend none of this ever happened, okay? Hearing those words, Leng Yaoyangshi's eyes turned bloodshot. Wei Chuan was almost poisoned to death. And all you can think about is your bastard son. Is Wei Chuan not your child too? Tian Yunlai, are you even human? Wei Chuan was almost murdered, yet you're still protecting them? That mother and daughter are going to prison, or else the Leng family will never let you off. But to everyone's surprise, Tian Yunlai just let out a cold sneer. His face was full of mockery. Do you really think you still call the shots in the Leng family? Leng Qingqiu is already sick to her stomach over all the dirty things you guys have done in the past. There is no way she is going to stand up for you. As soon as he said that, Leng Zhongping, standing right next to them, instantly froze in place. Just then, Lu Yushin stepped up to try and smooth things over. Mrs. Tian, your precious son is fine now, isn't he? Why don't we just drop the matter here? What do you mean? You want me to just let them go? Leng Yaoyangshi's eyes widened in sheer disbelief. Lu Yushin looked completely awkward, but he kept right on lecturing her. Everyone in the capital knows that you and Leng Qingqiu despise each other. She won't care about you at all. Right now, the partnership between the Lu and Tian families is just too deeply entangled. Getting a divorce at your age won't do you any good anyway. You might as well just forgive Mr. Tian. Why make such an ugly scene? Hearing that, I almost burst out laughing right then and there. It's true what they say. You don't need to fear a godlike enemy, just a pig-like teammate. This Lu Yushin was not just malicious, he was downright stupid. He was practically forcing Leng Yaoyangshi straight into Leng Qingqiu's camp. I took a deep breath, knowing it was finally my time to shine. Mr. Lu, you are absolutely right. Step aside for a second, let me talk some sense into her. Seeing the sheer hatred boiling in Leng Yaoyangshi's eyes, Lu Yushin froze for a second, and quietly stepped aside. As a washed-up loser, he was now completely dependent on the Tian family's charity. If Tian Yunlai were to pull his investments, his losses would be massive. So his only option was to force Leng Yaoyangshi to swallow her pride and accept this humiliation. I quietly leaned in close to her ear, and lowered my voice. Auntie, you should be able to see these people's true colors by now, right? The moment their own interests are threatened, even a blood sister gets thrown away like garbage. As long as you trust me, I promise I can get Ms. Leng to step up for you. Tears welled up in Leng Yaoyangshi's eyes. Back then, she constantly embezzled company funds for that piece of trash, Tian Yunlai. She stole core technology and teamed up with Leng Zhongping to bleed the Leng family dry. Later on, Qingqiu caught them. If Meng Zhaoyu hadn't stepped in back then, Qingqiu would have thrown them behind bars ages ago. After that, she completely cut all ties with them. Ending up in this miserable state today is entirely her own fault. Will Qingqiu still help me? I looked her dead in the eye and said firmly, she definitely will. Afterward, I followed Leng Zhongping into the luxury car heading back to the Leng estate. The whole ride, his face was so dark it looked like a thundercloud. I couldn't resist making a snide remark. What's wrong? Did your wife kick the bucket too? Leng Zhongping shot me a lethal glare. Can you just shut your jinxing mouth? So, I'm guessing you didn't find your daughter. Leng Zhongping looked out the window. He let out a bitter sneer. That bastard Lu Yushin didn't even bother looking for her. It turns out that old fox was just talking a good game. That very night, Leng Zhongping sent people to stake out the address. But after waiting a whole week, they didn't see a single soul. Only then did he find out. To avoid completely crossing Qingqiu, Lu Yushin never sent anyone as backup at all. Right after that, Leng Zhongping dug into Lu Rian's background too. And suddenly uncovered a bone-chilling truth. Back then, Lu Yushin staged that fake kidnapping, just to run off with the assets and elope with his mistress. Now that the Lu family is bankrupt, he wants to pull the exact same trick again, trying to use the two siblings to swallow up the Leng group. Just thinking about the tens of billions of assets Lu Yushin secretly transferred back then. He wanted to skin that old fox alive right then and there. Because, keep in mind, that massive fortune included his and Leng Yaoyangshi's hard-earned money too. You aren't working for Lu Yushin at all, are you? Leng Zhongping stared right at me. I just smirked. I completely dropped the act. No shit. The madam pays me 1 million a month. I am entirely hers, body and soul. Anyone who dares to threaten the Leng family, I'll take them all out. Leng Zhongping froze like a statue. Now that I've seen right through your true colors, if you still dare to help Lu Yushin, I'll expose the whole damn truth. I'll sell you off as a male escort. At this, Leng Qingqiu guiltily looked away. Knowing he had been played for an absolute fool, there was no way he'd keep working with Lu Yushin. Don't worry, I know what I have to do. Later, I went back to the Leng estate and spilled everything that happened today, word for word. Those two siblings have completely switched sides thanks to me. Lu Yushin is still totally in the dark. I think right now is the perfect time for you to make your move. Qingqiu sat in her leather chair, looking right at me. So tell me, what exactly do you need me to do? Help your aunt get a divorce. Help her take over the TN company, and then bring Leng Lingling back. Once you pull this off, your uncle and aunt will be fiercely loyal to you. They'll never dare to cause trouble again. Qingqiu agreed without a single moment of hesitation. I was fully prepared to spend more time convincing her, so I was instantly caught off guard. You're not even going to think about it? Qingqiu flashed a faint smile. She stepped forward, suddenly leaning in extremely close. I trust that Xiao Zhe would never hurt me. Hey, we can just talk normally. Why are you getting so close? Back in my bedroom, I realized I had several missed calls on my phone. Missed calls from Yulu. Mu Zhe, when are you coming back? About restoring your status in the family. We need to discuss it with you. Well, color me flattered. Looks like messing with Mu Yulu last time actually worked. You guys just figure it out yourselves. Don't mind me, don't mind you, so you can just come make a scene again later? Mu Zhe, can't you just behave for once? How am I not behaving? I've been watching adult movies since I was 8. Nobody is more mature than me. Mu Zhe, do you still want to be the eldest son of the Mu family or not? The way you say that, it's like asking if I want to strike it rich. Can I even say no? Then get your ass back here right now. Sis, you're not gonna try to pin another life-saving debt on me this time, are you? Mu Yulu fired back. Since when do you know the meaning of gratitude? Of course I do. Like I said, nobody understands it better than me. Mu Zhe, I am your sister. Try talking that garbage to me one more time. Do you have any sense of shame at all? Nope. Because Mu Chuan's dad said my heart got eaten. I'm heading over right now. And if you guys still have the guts to take me back, I'll rip off Mu Meiyu's underwear and shove it right in your mouth. I dropped the threat and hung up the phone. The moment I went downstairs, I saw Lu Feng blocking the door. Let's go. I'll drive you over. I scratched my head. Go where? Lu Feng frowned. The miss told me to take you back to the Mu family. I froze for a second. I haven't even asked for time off yet. How did she know where I was going? Just then, Leng Qingqiu's voice came from behind me. Your sister called me. Man, I seriously thought Leng Qingqiu had hidden cameras in my room. Scared the crap out of me. Back at the Mu estate, everyone was sitting on the couches in the living room. Mu Chuan was sitting right between Mu Jianhua and Zhang Qingyue, sobbing his eyes out. They were completely swollen. Zhang Qingyue had her arms wrapped around Mu Chuan's shoulders, her own eyes red and teary. Before I could even open my mouth, Mu Meiyu immediately started with the sarcastic remarks. Oh, so you actually remember how to come home? I thought since you latched onto the Leng family, we just weren't good enough for you anymore. Mu Meiyu's tone sounded exactly like a eunuch who'd been working in the palace for 30 years. Well, aren't you self-aware? Since you know I've got powerful friends now, you'd better tuck your tail between your legs and watch how you speak to me. Otherwise, I'll just have Leng Qingqiu bankrupt the whole Mu family. Enough. Mu Yulu snapped sharply. Mu Meiyu reluctantly shut his mouth. Mu Zhe, you are a part of the Mu family. Don't you understand that we rise and fall together? If the Mu family doesn't fall, the only one living the high life is that faker, Mu Chuan. If it goes bankrupt, the worst that happens to me is finding a new place to clock in, and I'd probably be way better off. I strolled right up to the head seat. Where are your manners? I'm here, and you don't even offer me a seat? Mu Jianhua was just about to explode. But before he could, I rolled up my sleeves on the spot and acted like I was gonna hoist him right over my head. That froze him in his tracks. He scrambled up in absolute terror and immediately gave up the seat for me. Meanwhile, Mu Chuan was practically shivering in fear. Mu Meiyu looked like his heart was breaking for him. Pulling him into her arms, she yelled, Mu Zhe. Little Chuan is easily scared. Can you please not bully him the second you step foot in this house? Don't be scared, Chuan. Second sister is right here. Second sister will protect you. Watching this sickening display, Mu Yulu radiated a freezing aura. I was too lazy to waste my breath either. Spit it out. What did you call me back here to discuss? Right after, Mu Yulu announced their decision. They would host a banquet in 2 days to officially restore my identity. But before I could even crack a smile, she actually had the nerve to say they were giving Mu Chuan 5% of the company shares and a bunch of real estate. They even wanted to set up a completely separate household register for him, guaranteeing him a lifetime of absolute luxury. I was completely dumbfounded. I couldn't believe this kind of windfall wasn't landing on me. So, I quickly pressed them. Then how many shares do I get for coming back to the Mu family? In response, Mu Yulu just furrowed her brows and glared at me. You've already gotten the title of the eldest son and our family. Is that seriously not enough for you? I was speechless right then and there. These absolute hypocrites actually wanted to use this worthless, unwanted garbage to brush me off. And of course, Mu Meiyu just had to keep barking, cursing me out for being greedy. Even Mu Jianhua chimed in, claiming that since Mu Chuan had been such a devoted son for all these years, this money was simply his rightful compensation. Watching this whole pathetic family huddle together for comfort, I let out a sharp, cold laugh. Tell you what, let's just cancel the whole identity swap. Give every single thing you promised Mu Chuan to me, and let him keep playing the role of your precious little boy. No way, who would have thought Mu Yulu would be the very first one to jump up and object? Her tone was actually frantic, seeing that these hypocrites wanted to keep both the fake son and the money. I slammed my hand hard onto the coffee table. I absolutely refuse. Mu Chuan came into this house with absolutely nothing, and now he is going to get the hell out of the Mu family completely empty-handed. As soon as those words dropped, Mu Meiyu leapt right off the sofa. The Mu family's money goes to whoever we want. Who the hell do you think you are to call the shots? Just happened to be boiling with rage with nowhere to vent, so I immediately backhanded her right across the face. Right after that, I grabbed Mu Meiyu and violently swung her around the entire room. The entire family cowered in pure terror, not daring to move a single inch. They were absolutely terrified that her flailing legs would kick their heads right off. Collapsed on the floor, Mu Meiyu's face was completely ghost white. She looked like she had just seen the Grim Reaper himself. Leng Qingqiu's heart completely broke for her daughter, and she frantically called for the servants to carry Mu Meiyu into the bedroom. I casually brushed off my hands and confidently sat right back down at the head of the table. Now, is anyone else unhappy with my decision? Go ahead, speak right up. Mu Jianhua was so furious his eye was visibly twitching, but he simply didn't dare to make a move right then and there. All he could do was brace himself and slam his fist on the table. Mu Jie, don't you dare push it. It is my money, and I will give it to whoever I damn well please. Even if you absolutely hate it, you better just suck it up. I honestly couldn't even be bothered to argue with him. Fine, if you actually dare to give him a single dime, I will turn right around and have Leng Qingqiu bankrupt the entire Mu family. If I can't have it, then nobody gets it. After all, the original owner of this body suffered a completely miserable life. Why the hell should that fake imposter get to enjoy all the wealth? Today, I am going to make sure every single person here suffers equally. Mu Jianhua pointed a trembling finger at me, absolutely livid. Don't you dare. Do you really think Leng Qingqiu would let you run wild like this? However, the absolute panic flashing in his eyes completely gave him away. Honestly, I knew very well. I was just using Leng Qingqiu's name to scare the life out of them. But looking at their terrified, completely uncertain faces, I knew that wasn't enough to push them over the edge, to completely crush their psychological defenses. I dropped an absolute bombshell right then and there, taking a deep breath. Last night, Leng Qingqiu and I already. Before I could even finish my sentence, Mu Jianhua froze like a statue. Leng Qingqiu just stared at me, completely shell-shocked. Dad, do you want the husband of the wealthiest woman as your son? Or a crying little fake? You choose. If you insist on protecting him, I'll be whispering in Leng Qingqiu's ear every single day. Until the Mu family is completely bankrupt. After dropping that threat, I turned on my heel and walked away. The moment I left, Mu Yulu looked dead serious, absolutely terrified to gamble with the family's future. Mu Jianhua's face turned completely blue. He was secretly planning to cut him off publicly, but sneak Mu Chuan some cash once I was gone. Just then, his phone suddenly buzzed wildly. An unknown number flashed on the screen. He answered it, confused, only to hear a voice as cold as ice on the other end. This is Leng Qingqiu. Hearing that name, Mu Jianhua nearly wet himself. Even his posture suddenly became incredibly submissive. Mu Jie belongs to me. If I find out he's been wronged in any way, you'll pay the price. Mu Jianhua couldn't force a smile if he tried. He practically swore he'd worship the ground I walked on. After hanging up, he collapsed onto the couch, looking like his soul had left his body. With a direct warning from Leng Qingqiu herself, he didn't even have the guts to slip Mu Chuan a dime in secret. Backed into a corner, he had no choice but to harden his heart. Xiao Chuan, you need to move out. Have your real parents come pick you up. Hearing this, Mu Chuan was so terrified he actually forgot to cry. After all, his biological parents were absolute monsters, and going back to them was like jumping straight into a fiery pit. He bawled, desperately grabbing onto Mu Jianhua, begging for his life, even swearing he wouldn't ask for a single penny of the inheritance. But when it came to the family's survival, Mu Jianhua was dead set. He ruthlessly shook off Mu Chuan's hand and turned his head away in disgust. You've leeched off the Mu family for over 20 years, that's enough. It's decided. No matter how much Mu Chuan sobbed and screamed, he couldn't change the fact that he was being kicked to the curb. Without a single cent to his name. How was this pampered little fraud supposed to survive? I watched his trembling body with cold indifference, feeling nothing but sweet satisfaction. But Mu Yulu stepped forward and caught him, glaring at her own father with fierce resentment. Dad, didn't we agree that even if Mu Jie comes back, we wouldn't throw Xiao Chuan back to that wretched family? Hearing that, Mu Jianhua snapped. Shut it, anyone who makes a fuss can pack their bags and get the hell out of this house. But right then, looking at the fake son he had raised for over 2 decades, a tiny bit of pity finally tugged at his heart. Softening his tone, he not only let Mu Chuan go upstairs to pack, but even promised he could reach out for help if things got too rough. The moment he was sent upstairs, Mu Chuan collapsed onto his bed, crying his eyes out. But wouldn't you know it, right at that moment, his phone started ringing off the hook. It was Leng Qingqiu. Hearing the worry in her voice, Mu Chuan broke down completely, sobbing uncontrollably. Qingqiu, you're kicking me out. I have absolutely nowhere to go. Who would have thought? The second Leng Qingqiu heard this, her eyes went red with anxiety. She fiercely declared she was coming to pick her up right this second, refusing to let her suffer even the slightest bit of mistreatment. Hearing this, Mu Chuan was so moved that without even wiping away the tears, started packing up everything in the house. In just 30 minutes, 5 massive suitcases were stuffed to the brim. The very next second, Leng Qingqiu's car pulled up downstairs. Mu Chuan gave Leng Qingqiu a quick hug, and bolted out the front door without looking back. By the time Mu Yulu came out of the study, there wasn't even a shadow left. Furious, she immediately sent someone to track down their address. Meanwhile, I had already quietly slipped back into the Leng family mansion. I secretly thanked my lucky stars that I didn't let Lu Feng tag along to the Mu house. If he had heard me lie about doing that with Leng Qingqiu last night, he definitely would have found a way to make my life miserable. For now, I just needed to use this excuse to force Mu Chuan out. Not long after getting back to my room, I immediately snuck out to the back garden without skipping a beat. Leng Zhongping, who was hiding in the shadows, silently appeared. I cautiously looked around. Why did you call me out here so late? What kind of shady business couldn't be said over the phone? To my surprise, the moment Leng Zhongping opened his mouth, he dropped a massive bombshell of a conspiracy. Lu Yushin contacted me tonight. He gave me a packet of slow-acting stuff. He told me to bribe the servants to harm sister-in-law and Qingqiu, so I wouldn't look suspicious. I had to bite the bullet and take the packet. I absolutely don't have the guts to confess this to Leng Qingqiu right now. If she finds out I ever plotted with Lu Yushin, she would absolutely sell me off to be a gigolo. At my age, my body can't handle that kind of torture. So, I couldn't wait to come to you to make up for it and prove my loyalty. I snatched the little white bottle from his hand. There wasn't a single word printed on it. You couldn't even tell what was in it. What the hell is this? Did you taste it? Leng Zhongping's face dropped in absolute disbelief. Are you out of your mind? I know damn well it's poison. Why would I eat it? Then, he started cursing Lu Yushin out, calling him an absolute bastard. Not only was he trying to kill his own family, but he was also scheming to fake his memory recovery while they were deathly ill. All to seize the Leng group for himself. I couldn't help but let out a cold sneer. Cut the nice guy act. If you didn't figure out he was just using you, you'd be acting even worse than him. Getting called out by me, Leng Zhongping awkwardly rubbed his nose. He quickly asked what the hell we should do with the drug. Actually using it is out of the question. But if we don't, Lu Yushin will get suspicious. Right at that moment, an idea sparked in my mind. I tossed the bottle right back at his chest. Why shouldn't we use it? Take some money and bribe the servants at the Lu house. Feed every last drop of this to Lu Yushin and his wife. As for Boss Lang's side, when the time comes, I'll have them fake being sick to play along. Since Lu Yushin is so eager to ruin people, let's let him get a real good taste of his own medicine. In the original plot, they were tortured to death by the illness. But now that I'm here, this deadly poison is going right back to where it came from. Just thinking about the agonizing hell that couple was about to go through, I couldn't hold back a creepy, sinister laugh. Leng Zhongping shivered from head to toe, probably wondering if I had been possessed by a demon. He frantically grabbed my sleeve. Stop laughing like a maniac. I gave all my shares to Qingqiu. I am completely flat broke right now. You need to figure out a way for me to pay off those servants. Are you out of your mind? You're the literal uncle of the wealthiest person around, and you're crying about being broke? Who are you trying to fool? He just awkwardly scratched his head. He complained bitterly, saying he raised a total deadbeat son, and that Leng Qingqiu had stripped away all his power. Now he's just a figurehead president at some branch company. His annual salary in the tens of millions is nowhere near enough to cover the family's expenses and socializing. Why would I lie to you? Hurry up and help me think of a way out of this. I couldn't help but sneer inwardly. This old geezer was definitely trying to scam me. Just then, Leng Zhongping's phone suddenly rang out, piercing the quiet night. He picked it up, and his eyes instantly went wide as saucers. I leaned in for a peek, and saw an absolutely mind-blowing string of numbers flashing on the screen. Your UnionPay debit card ending in 2888 has received a deposit of 50 million yuan. I never would have guessed. This wretched old man was actually a hidden multimillionaire. Furious, I slammed my fist right into his shoulder. You sly old fox. I saved your life out of the kindness of my heart, and you were trying to play me. Leng Qingqiu just grabbed his head and scurried away like a frightened rat. Stop hitting me, I'll send someone to look into it tomorrow, he yelled, bolting off before I could even blink. Liar, I muttered under my breath, turning around to head back inside and sleep. However, up in a room on the 3rd floor, a slender figure stood hidden by the floor-to-ceiling windows, staring holes right through me. The next day, I followed Leng Qingqiu to the office for work as usual. Ming Lang and Zhou Qian pushed open the doors to the CEO's office and began their report. Tian Yunlai's scandal is blowing up the trending searches. The Tian Group's stock just plummeted, wiping out over $1 billion in value. Also, the second miss is currently on a flight back to the country. Keep a close eye on the Tian family. I want that mistress's identity exposed. And we're going to use Tian Weichuan's name to snatch up all the shares the Tian Group is dumping. Right after that, Zhou Qian stepped forward to hand over the documents for signing. The moment Leng Qingqiu looked down, she secretly slipped a little pack of snacks into my hand. I immediately shot her a bright, cheeky wink, and Zhou Qian instantly flashed me a doting smile. The second the papers were signed, she turned to leave, and I happily skipped right after her. But wouldn't you know it, I hadn't even made it halfway to the door, when a voice like ice slammed down on me. Where do you think you're going? Going to find Zhang Yu? Or maybe Qin Feng? Did you forget my rules? During work hours, you are absolutely not allowed to leave my side for even a second. Well, damn, I had no choice but to hang my head and drag my feet back, standing behind her like a giant stone bodyguard. But as I stood there, alarm bells suddenly started ringing in my head. Whenever I used to sneak out to chat with people, I always did it while she was stuck in meetings. So how the hell did she know every single detail? There was no way Zhou Qian would ever sell me out. That meant the only possible mole left was Ming Lang. In a flash, I decided to confront Leng Qingqiu right then and there. I slapped both hands down on her desk and leaned all the way in. But I completely lost my train of thought. All I could see was her absolutely flawless side profile. That sharp, elegant nose, those slightly pursed, thin lips. I was struck so breathless by her beauty that my mind just went completely blank. Leng Qingqiu stiffened up completely, and an unconscious, faint red blush actually crept up the tips of her ears. She forced a calm tone and asked me what I wanted. I just stood there, flashing this completely lovesick grin. Boss Leng, you are simply way too gorgeous. But instead of melting, she slowly raised her eyes. Her voice was ice cold. Oh, and compared to Zhou Qian, who is prettier, I immediately furrowed my brows. Why the hell does this woman bring up Zhou Qian in every other sentence? Still, I bit the bullet and admitted the truth. Zhou Qian does have a bit of charm. But in a flash, Leng Qingqiu's face turned dark as thunder, radiating a terrifying aura that was downright suffocating. I sharply sensed the danger, and hurriedly changed my tune. But how could she ever compare to you? You're a goddess from above. She isn't even worthy of carrying your shoes. And sure enough, that terrifying pressure receded like the tide. She even showed a rare hint of shyness. I struck while the iron was hot and leaned right in. How did you know about Zhou Qian? Did that mole Ming Lang tell you? Leng Qingqiu stayed silent for a long moment, then actually gave a calm nod. I completely blew my top on the spot. I swore to myself that I'd make Ming Lang pay during my break. Meanwhile, sensing my monstrous fury, Leng Qingqiu quietly picked up her phone and sent a text. Over in the president's office, Ming Lang was buried in his work. When his phone screen suddenly lit up, your bonus for this month is doubled. Take the blame for me. Ming Lang's face went completely blank. Right after, a second message popped up. No matter what Mu Jie asks you, just say you did it. Ming Lang's expression instantly turned incredibly sour. Trembling, he could only type back, understood, President Leng. Just then, his assistant violently pushed open the office door. Assistant Ming, President Xiao Yueying of Yaoyang Entertainment is already in the reception room. Ming Lang was just about to get up, when his eyes suddenly darted around. He quickly told his assistant to call me in too. At that moment, I was slouched in the office, half asleep. After getting Leng Qingqiu's permission, I darted out of there in a flash. But the second I stepped into the reception room, all my burning anger vanished into thin air. The Xiao Yueying sitting right in front of me was one of the very tormentors who ruthlessly bullied the original host in the novel. I didn't manage to screw her over last time, but now, she practically delivered herself right to my doorstep. Xiao Yueying didn't even bother to look at me. She was too busy groveling, begging Ming Lang to introduce her to Leng Qingqiu. President Xiao, when President Leng makes a decision, it's final. No problem, I loudly interrupted Ming Lang. Staring at Xiao Yueying with a bright smile, I said, our President Leng is famously cold-hearted. But it's not like there aren't other big investors out there, right? Xiao Yueying's eyes lit up with startling intensity. She desperately asked me what connections I had. This is a movie aiming for the big awards. There is absolutely zero room for error. I casually leaned back against the sofa, and instantly started bossing Ming Lang around. Assistant Ming, what are you spacing out for? Hurry up and get someone to bring in some tea. I need to have a proper chat with President Xiao. Ming Lang glared at me in utter disbelief. But bound by Leng Qingqiu's orders, he obediently did as told. Right after that, I started aggressively brainwashing Xiao Yueying. President Leng is absolutely not going to invest in this movie. It wouldn't matter even if you licked her boots. But, you could go find the heir to the Lu group. Lu Qingyao, and her boyfriend Mu Chuan. I patted my chest, acting completely sincere. I told her to bring her lead actress and corner them directly. After all, the ultimate fate of this movie was a catastrophic financial loss. It was the perfect tool to ruthlessly screw over Lu Qingyao. And Xiao Yueying didn't just swallow my bait hook, line, and sinker. Before leaving, she showered me with thanks and even added my contact. In the blink of an eye, it was time to clock out. I had just received the glorious news that Xiao Yueying had scheduled a showdown with Lu Qingyao at 8 o'clock tonight. I immediately spun around and asked Leng Qingqiu for time off. President Leng, I have a date tonight. Could I take the evening off? Little did I know, Leng Qingqiu's expression would instantly turn completely ice cold. She glared at me, demanding to know exactly who I was going out with. Completely oblivious to the sudden drop in the room's temperature, I casually blurted out my plans to go watch the drama unfold. But then, this notoriously aloof woman actually did the unthinkable and spoke up. I'll give you a ride. I tried to turn her down, but her dark eyes instantly flashed with a terrifying, icy glare, and yeah, I completely chickened out. So, I had no choice but to bring this walking iceberg along with me. Soon enough, we arrived at that heavily guarded private club. I couldn't get into their VIP room, so I had to wait in the lobby like some total creep, keeping my eyes glued to that door. Leng Qingqiu sat there next to me, the picture of elegance, while I absolutely could not contain my excitement. I whipped out my phone without a second thought, and fired off a lethal piece of intel to Big Sis. Hey Big Sis, I just spotted Mu Chuan. He's getting all cozy with Lu Qingyao right now. Hurry up and come catch them. She replied instantly, demanding the address. Without missing a beat, I just shot back a pay me sticker. The very next second, a transfer of 100,000 bucks slammed right into my account. Grinning from ear to ear, I dropped the location, and sat back to wait for the show to begin. It wasn't long before, the door to the VIP room was finally pushed open. Xiao Yueying, holding the signed investment documents, walked out with a radiant smile on her face. Right on her heels, Lu Qingyao stepped over the threshold, her arm linked tightly with Mu Chuan's, looking as intimate as could be. Right at that explosive moment, Mu Yulu stormed up and slapped Lu Qingyao hard across the face. The slap sent Lu Qingyao stumbling back, but, desperate to stay on her future sister-in-law's good side, she actually swallowed her pride and took it. But nobody could have predicted what happened next. Mu Chuan went absolutely ballistic trying to protect his girl. Without a second thought, he fired back with a vicious backhand slap right across Mu Yulu's face. What gives you the right to hit her? Mu Chuan roared, shielding Lu Qingyao behind him. Even his parents hadn't kicked him out, but the woman he'd called Big Sis for over 20 years had ruthlessly stripped him of his shares and inheritance. Well, since he was thrown out on the streets, he swore he would never let Mu Yulu control his life again. Mu Yulu just stood there, clutching her cheek, her eyes overflowing with absolute despair and agony. The only reason she had so ruthlessly kicked Mu Chuan out of the family was to break their legal ties as siblings, so she could officially and legitimately marry him. But who would have thought that the precious prize she had so carefully guarded would get snatched away right in front of her by some random tramp? And as if that wasn't enough, he was actually confronting her in the middle of the street over another woman. Mu Yulu completely broke down. She reached out, desperately trying to pull him back to her side. But Lu Qingyao shoved her away violently. Don't you touch him, let's go. Watching their retreating figures as they walked away together, Mu Yulu's legs completely gave out. The heartbreak was so intense, she could barely breathe. I was hiding in the shadows, absolutely eating up every second of this drama. Once it was over, I gave Leng Qingqiu a knowing look and strolled straight over to Mu Yulu. Big sis, are you okay? Mu Yulu just stumbled past me in an absolute daze, treating me like I was completely invisible. But honestly, the more she acted like that, the harder it was to fight back the wicked urge to mess with her. Big sis, how could Mu Chuan just hit you over some random homewrecker? Let me help you get back at him. Right at that moment, Mu Yulu stopped dead in her tracks. She slowly turned and locked her bloodshot, tear-filled eyes right onto me. She asked through gritted teeth how I could help. I didn't hesitate, just jutted my chin straight toward Leng Qingqiu. I led her right back to our booth, sitting her directly across from the business tycoon, Leng Qingqiu. Mu Yulu looked incredibly tense and out of place. Leng Qingqiu, on the other hand, just gave a dismissive, half-hearted nod. The very next second, as if we were the only ones there, she started dropping shrimp right into my bowl. Mu Yulu stared at us, completely speechless. I took the opening to twist the knife right in her heart. Look, sis, Lu Qingyao is wild, trust me. Back when I worked security at her place, I saw her dragging different guys home to spend the night, every single day. In reality, the Lu Qingyao from the original story was a flawless, top-tier heiress who saved herself completely, absolutely devoted to doting on Mu Chuan and no one else. But to tear them apart for good? I started spinning lies without even blinking an eye. Mu Yulu swallowed the bait whole. Her fists clenched on instinct, completely desperate for proof. I leaned in close to her ear, my smile slowly turning wicked. No proof? Then we just manufacture the proof. Slip him a little something extra. Then hire a working girl to snap some scandalous high-def photos. Boom, there's your proof, right? Faced with such a ruthless scheme, the usually straight-laced big sister actually started agonizing over it. I cursed inwardly. You're so pathetic. You're always a day late and $1 short. Come on, sis. A woman without a ruthless streak never keeps her throne. If you don't play dirty now, you'll be sleeping alone for the rest of your life. You keep dragging your feet like this, and by the time Mu Chuan pops out a second kid with someone else, you'll be kicking yourself into next week. Mu Yulu's face went completely dark. She didn't say a word. She lowered her eyes, lost in her own thoughts. But I was absolutely certain she took the bait. Sis, we're real family, blood siblings. You think I wouldn't want the best for you? As we parted ways, I flashed a smile and waved at Mu Yulu. Hey, sis, if you get stuck on anything, just call me. I'll sort it all out for you. Mu Yulu didn't even acknowledge me. She just slammed on the gas. And the car shot forward, almost like it was venting its owner's absolute fury. But I never expected that, bright and early the very next morning, I'd walk into an even more bizarre scene. I was rubbing the sleep out of my eyes, coming down the stairs, when my foot suddenly froze in midair. Right there in the usually empty living room, sat Leng Qingqiu and his wife, Lin Ru. They looked like discarded trash, just left to rot on the sofa, completely ignored by everyone. I strolled over. What are you two doing here? Lin Ru instantly plastered on an incredibly sickening, fawning smile. Well, we got word. That Lingling is already back. We came over today specifically to thank your sister-in-law. Unfortunately, she hasn't paid us any attention at all. So we're just stuck sitting here looking stupid. But, we've thought it through now. Lu Yeshin is totally useless. He'd sell us out in a heartbeat, and we'd be the ones counting the cash for him. Right now, our only bet is clinging to Leng Qingqiu. So whatever happens. Jay, we're gonna need you to put in a good word for us. Lin Ru said, forcefully slipping a bank card into my hand. Jay, we're really going to need you to sing our praises from now on. Well, madam, you're definitely the smartest one in the Leng family. As long as I'm around, you can just kick back and enjoy the good life. Hearing me say that, Leng Qingqiu instantly leaned into my ear, acting all mysterious. I've already bought off the Lu family's nanny. I had her slip a little spiked drink to my older brother and that woman. But instead of praising him, I stared dead into his eyes with absolute, deadpan seriousness. From now on, keep me out of this life-ruining crap. Don't you ever tell me that again. Leng Qingqiu looked at me, completely baffled, and asked why. Duh, what if this whole thing blows up and the Lu family calls the cops? What if you rat me out as the mastermind, and we both end up doing time together? But I kept that to myself. I didn't want to scare the crap out of him. After all, I'm just way too kind-hearted. It'd absolutely break my heart to see him panic. Leng Qingqiu's jaw practically hit the floor. I mean, ever since we met, I've been the one ruthlessly plotting against everyone. He never in a million years imagined I could be this shamelessly brazen. His mouth twitched hard, and he quickly changed the subject. Oh, right. I also heard Lu Rian is heading to the Starlight Art Exhibition. That's the exhibition my sister-in-law funded. You don't think that crazy woman is gonna use this chance to hurt her, do you? Those words set off massive alarm bells in my head. Lu Rian's youngest daughter just passed away a few days ago. That old witch is definitely going to take all her twisted rage out on the clueless Meng Jiaoyu. Got it. I'll tag along with Madam later. As long as I'm around, there's no way in hell I'll let her lay a finger on Madam. Taking the chance, Lin Ru shamelessly asked if I could bring her along too. She was always crying and making a massive scene in front of Meng Jiaoyu. She was always either begging her to clean up her daughter's messes, or pleading with her to save her. And since she always talked trash about Meng Jiaoyu behind her back at their social gatherings, she ended up completely blacklisted. Meng Jiaoyu flat out refused to show up anywhere Lin Ru was. Gradually, the high society wives got the hint and simply stopped inviting her to things. So, for the past few years, she's been completely shut out. She's just been sitting at home playing the bitter housewife, letting her resentment for Meng Jiaoyu boil over. Now she was desperate to claw her way back into that elite circle, but who knows if Meng Jiaoyu would even give her the time of day. I didn't give her a straight answer. I just shooed those two annoyances away. Right at that moment, Meng Jiaoyu gracefully glided down the stairs. I immediately rushed over to her. Madam, you're awake. Meng Jiaoyu gave a warm smile. Honestly, she'd been up for ages. She just stayed upstairs because she absolutely dreaded dealing with Leng Qingqiu and Lin Ru. Madam, I heard you're heading to the Starlight Art Exhibition today. Let me go with you. Without a second thought, she instantly nodded in agreement. Absolutely not. Out of nowhere, Leng Qingqiu appeared right behind us. Her sudden voice startled us. Why not? Meng Jiaoyu looked at her, totally bewildered. Leng Qingqiu's eyes locked onto mine. Mom, he's my bodyguard. He's supposed to be by my side 24 hours a day, keeping me safe. But, don't you already have Lin Chen and Lu Feng with you? Leng Qingqiu's expression was completely deadpan. They aren't as thoughtful as Mu Jie. Meng Jiaoyu didn't push it any further. Alright, fine. I was absolutely gutted. I'd been looking forward to checking out the exhibition and broadening my horizons. But Leng Qingqiu shut it down. And as a corporate slave, I don't exactly have the right to say no. When the boss says no, even her own mother can't change her mind. I just kept my mouth shut. My flawless plan had gone completely down the drain. I had no choice but to follow her to the office. The whole ride there, I gloomily stared out the window. Occasionally, I glanced back at the woman sitting next to me, just cursing her out in my head. Leng Qingqiu must have felt my glaring, because she finally broke the silence. Do you really want to go to that exhibition so badly? Boss Leng, please don't insult my professionalism. I didn't ask to tag along with Madam just to goof off. I was obviously worried your mom would get bullied by that old hag. I can't believe you doubt my complete and utter devotion. Her expression remained totally deadpan. Up front, the driver and Lu Fengji shot me a strange look through the rearview mirror. They instinctively sat up perfectly straight, barely even daring to breathe. After all, they had never seen anyone dare to talk to Leng Qingqiu like that before. But instead of getting mad, the corners of her mouth actually curled up. I was going to say we'd head to the office to handle some work first. Then I'd take you to the art exhibition later. But, since you don't want to go, I suppose we can just forget it. I instantly plastered on the sweetest smile. And cooed in a sugary voice, really? You're not just messing with me, are you? Leng Qingqiu raised an eyebrow. But I thought you didn't want to go? I immediately sat bolt upright. And gave an awkward little laugh. Oh, I was just making all that up. Seriously, Leng Qingqiu let out a soft chuckle. And suddenly asked, do you know the phrase, a man of his word? Even though I was totally lost, I blurted out, well, it means that a person keeps their promises. Their word is absolute, but she just slowly shook her head. Wrong. Leng Qingqiu looked right at me and enunciated every single syllable. For you, the phrase should probably mean, for every one word I say, you talk back 9 times. I was instantly teased into total silence. Be good. Next time you want something, you can just tell me. You don't need to sit there and sulk. She reached over and ruffled my hair, her eyes full of affection. And you don't need to talk back to me, either. Because whatever it is you want, I can give it to you. I didn't think much of it, just assuming this was some kind of sweet employee perk. I beamed at her with the brightest smile. Thank you, Boss Leng. You really are a great boss who looks out for her team. I promise I'm gonna work super hard from now on. I'll be the absolute best bodyguard you've ever had. But in the very next second, she snatched her hand back. Her whole demeanor turned ice cold, and the air in the car instantly froze over. I scratched my head, completely bewildered, secretly lamenting that working for a boss like her was like keeping company with a tiger. Thank God murder is a crime in a socialist country, otherwise I'd seriously be afraid she'd. Right after that, once we finished dealing with some urgent paperwork at the office, Qingqiu took me straight to the art exhibition. I heard this gallery was funded by some divorced wealthy socialite who wanted to boost her young toy boy's career. Mrs. Meng was pretty good friends with the woman, so she threw some money in too, just to build up some hype for the boy toy. The socialite had also invited quite a few of her fake, plastic friends from their circle. Leng Qingqiu hated this kind of stuff, and usually avoided it like the plague. The second I walked into the gallery, I made a beeline for Mrs. Meng. She had been chatting with the other rich ladies, but as soon as she saw me, her face lit up and she hurried over to grab my hand. The ladies clustered around her stared at me curiously. Jiaoyu, who is this young man? We haven't seen him around before. I didn't shy away from answering, introducing myself to the crowd. I'm Leng Qingqiu's personal bodyguard. But the words had barely left my mouth when a shockingly shrill, mean-spirited scoff cut through the air. Mrs. Li shot me a look of pure, unadulterated contempt, looking me up and down from head to toe. Jiaoyu, you're actually calling her a bodyguard? That is hilarious. She covered her mouth, laughing so hard she was practically shaking. With a tiny little frame like that, her thighs aren't even as thick as my arm. I'd sooner believe she's some little secret lover your daughter is keeping. As soon as she said that, the expressions on the wealthy ladies around us instantly turned incredibly suggestive. In this twisted world of high society, rich folks playing dress-up and roleplay games is just another Tuesday. Seeing that everyone was getting the completely wrong idea, Meng Jiaoyu broke into a nervous sweat, desperately trying to explain. But right at that moment, I stepped forward. Before Mrs. Li could even react, I grabbed her straight around the waist. And then, I hoisted her entire body high above my head, right into a princess carry. I had no choice. It was her fault for wearing such a ridiculously long, heavy gown. I couldn't exactly grab her by the bra and panties. In that split second, every single wealthy lady in the room gasped in sheer horror. Keep in mind, this Mrs. Li was 1.7 meters tall. and weighed a solid 154 pounds. She was a certified heavyweight socialite. And yet, I hoisted her up in the air without breaking a single sweat. All their doubts vanished into thin air. Nothing but sheer, unadulterated panic remained on the faces of those snobby wives. Right after that, thanks to that hardcore stunt, I instantly became the absolute center of attention. They completely forgot about looking at the art and swarmed me like a bunch of absolute maniacs. Xiao Zhe, is this freakish strength of yours natural, or did you train for it? Don't tell me you can actually lift a truck? Can you smash boulders on your chest too? My head was spinning from all these insane questions. I obviously couldn't tell them it was some kind of natural superpower. What if they dragged me off to some lab to slice me open and study me? So, I immediately rolled up my sleeves and proudly flexed my solid biceps for them. I trained for this. I did a ton of heavy farm workout in the countryside when I was a kid. Plus, I ate a lot. So my strength just naturally grew, right while the crowd was excitedly buzzing around me with sparkling eyes. A painfully chilling voice suddenly rang out from right behind me. Mu Zhe, back when you worked as a security guard at my house, I never realized you were quite so strong. Everyone whipped their heads around, only to see that old witch, Lu Ruyan, wearing a sickeningly polite fake smile, staring dead into my eyes. The second those words left Lu Ruyan's mouth, the atmosphere in the room instantly froze. Several of the ladies furrowed their brows, glaring at me. You used to be a bodyguard for the Lu family? The same women who were just fawning over me instantly turned their noses up in disgust. Oh, Mu Zhe, Lu Ruyan sighed. You were doing perfectly well working for my family. So why did you just have to quit? Ah, it turns out you were just climbing the social ladder to get to the Leng family. The moment she said that, the way those wealthy ladies looked at me completely shifted. Their eyes were filled with absolute contempt. Well, people always try to marry up, don't they? Don't let it upset you, Mrs. Lu. It's just a hired hand, after all. As long as you pay them enough, you can find dogs like that anywhere. Meng Jiaoyu couldn't stand listening to this and tried to defend me, but Mrs. Shen grabbed her arm. Jiaoyu, don't let yourself get fooled. Some of these bodyguards are incredibly scheming. She shot me a filthy glare. Your Qingqiu doesn't even have a boyfriend yet. You better make sure she doesn't get targeted by someone with ulterior motives. They'll do anything to climb the social ladder, getting close to you entirely on purpose. Once they latch on, you'll never be able to shake them off. I literally had to laugh out loud. Did these people have some kind of massive persecution complex? I confronted them straight to their faces. Excuse me? This person with ulterior motives you're talking about. Is it me? Madam Li let out a cold snort. What? Did I strike a nerve? Are you lashing out because you're embarrassed? Yi Jingyan, Xiao Zhe isn't that kind of person. Just because your own husband. Don't assume everyone else is just as rotten. Having her sore spot poked, Madam Li flared up as well. Meng Jiaoyu, I'm only saying this for your own good. Seeing that the two of them were about to tear into each other, I instantly saw right through Lu Ruyan's scheme. In just a few words, this woman had pitted Meng Jiaoyu and Madam Li against each other, trying to make them enemies. So she could swoop in and take advantage of the mess. In the very next second, I dropped a bombshell. Madam Lu, the reason I quit back then was because I'm the eldest son of the Mu family. My parents wanted to bring me back home. Besides, you slipped something in my drink back then, so how can you badmouth me like this now? What the hell are you talking about? Lu Ruyan panicked instantly. Her eyes were full of frantic warnings. I still have the transfer records from your eldest daughter, when she paid me off to keep me from calling the cops. You ladies can take a look and see for yourselves if I'm lying. You little piece of... Lu Ruyan lunged at me to snatch my phone. I tossed the phone right into Madam Shen's lap. As I dodged her, I went on an absolute rampage. Madam Fang, Madam Lu was just talking trash about you behind your back. She said you're a massive hypocrite, who can't even keep her own man on a leash, practically handing him over on a silver platter. She said it serves you right that he got snatched away. Oh, and Madam Shen, she called you a fat cow who eats like a pig. She said your ugly husband must be blind as a bat to treat you like some kind of treasure. She even called you a toad and a frog. One's butt ugly and the other is totally blind. Lu Ruyan was shaking so hard from rage she looked ready to rip my face off. But there was absolutely no way she could deny it, because she actually did. Say every single one of those things back at home. She was completely screwed. These women were all top-tier elites in the capital's high society. Pissing off even one of them was enough to ruin her life. Abandoning her chase after me, Lu Ruyan turned pale and frantically tried to explain. I never said any of that. He's framing me, but Madam Li and Madam Shen's faces were already as black as thunder. How could a lowly bodyguard know so many personal details? He obviously overheard Lu Ruyan running her mouth at home. Right at that moment, Madam Zhou, the only person in the room who hadn't been called out yet, was just about to break up the fight when I turned to look straight at her. I spoke up in a chilling tone. Madam Zhou, she said your daughter is a total tramp, throwing herself at a butler's illegitimate brat for the whole world to see. She even said your daughter bends over backwards to take care of his girlfriend too. acting like she hasn't seen a man in 10 lifetimes. She said it serves her right that even a servant's son wouldn't give her the time of day. The moment those words left my mouth, Madame Zhou absolutely lost it. She lunged forward and delivered a brutal slap right across Lu Rian's face. "I'll rip your filthy mouth off." The second Madame Zhou made her move, the other two women instantly joined in. All three of them cornered Lu Rian, scratching and beating the living daylights out of her. I quickly grabbed Meng Jiayu and pulled her to the side. "Madam, don't get involved. Madame Lu was asking for it. She completely deserves this beatdown." Meng Jiayu was frantic with worry. Is this really okay? There are reporters right outside. Madame Lu also talked trash about you. They said the only reason the Leng group got this big is because you slept your way to the top. God knows how many men you've been with. They even said your man went missing because he was disgusted by how used up you are and just didn't want to come back. You bitch, I'm going to kill you. Wang Mingjiao completely lost her mind. She shook off my hand and charged right at her. I watched the scene devolve into total chaos and quietly backed away. But just as I turned around, I bumped straight into a warm, soft embrace. A burning hot hand gave my waist a quick squeeze. "Careful." Leng Qingqiu quickly let me go, just as Madame Li delivered a vicious slap across the face. "Lu Rian, if you don't give us a damn good explanation for the rumors you started, I'd like to see who can possibly protect you." Lu Rian's eyes were filled with a mix of hatred and pure terror. She absolutely could not admit to it, because if she did, she would be permanently blacklisted from Beijing's elite circles. She immediately started playing dumb. I don't know what you're talking about. I swear I never said those things. It was Mu Jie. She made it all up. The art exhibition was completely ruined. After the ladies expressed their apologies, they each spent a few $100,000 on a painting and stormed off, simmering with rage. Lu Rian completely failed to achieve her goal. Not to mention, she got a severe public beating. She was so furious she almost passed out. That night, the moment Lu Qingyao walked through the door after her date, she heard Lu Rian's venomous cursing. "Mu Jie, you little bitch. I am not going to let you get away with this. I'm going to kill you, you slut." Lu Rian suddenly charged right up to her face. "Lu Qingyao, stop right there. Where the hell have you been? Why are you only getting back now? In this house, she would always be an outsider. Her father was completely indifferent. Her younger sister was frail and sickly, and she was entirely dispensable. Now that her sister was dead, all of her mother's misdirected emotions were forced onto her." Lu Qingyao sighed, her face full of exhaustion as she explained. "Mom, I had a business dinner tonight. That's why I'm late." Very next second, she noticed the bruises on Lu Rian's face. She froze in shock. "Mom, what happened to your face?" Lu Rian immediately covered her cheeks with her hands. "Qingyao, it was all that little bitch Mu Ji's fault. She did this to me. You have to help me teach her a lesson. I want her to pay for this." Just as Lu Qingyao was about to ask for the details, a furious roar exploded from the doorway. "Lu Rian, look at what the hell you've done." Lu Yeshan stormed inside, his face twisted in absolute rage. On his phone screen was a crystal clear video of her being ganged up on by 4 women at the art exhibition. Even everything Mu Jie said was caught perfectly on audio. Lu Rian opened her mouth to explain, but couldn't force a single word out. A split second later, smack, Lu Yeshan viciously backhanded her across the face. "I told you to go network and build good relationships with those women. Is this how you do it? Do you have any idea how much trouble you've caused me?" He was drowning in regret. Why on earth did he ever fake his own death for a woman like this? Not only was she completely useless for his career, she couldn't even kiss up to people without causing a total disaster. Lu Rian sobbed uncontrollably as she tried to explain. I didn't mean to. I have no idea how things got so out of hand." Lu Yeshan cut her off with an irritated roar. "Shut up and stop crying. I don't care how you do it, just go fix things with her. Or else." Finishing his threat, he turned to Lu Qingyao. His face darkened even more. "What about the task I gave you?" Lu Qingyao lowered her head. Leng Qingqiu refused to settle. "We lost the lawsuit. We have to pay 200,000. And we have to issue a public apology on the official website." "You useless piece of trash." Lu Yeshan roared. Lu Qingyao clenched her fists tightly. She had figured it out a long time ago. The man standing right in front of her wasn't her real father at all, but Lu Yeshan, who had stolen her father's identity. Right now, this guy must be regretting it so much, right? His own biological daughter, Leng Qingqiu, the one he abandoned, had grown into an untouchable force he couldn't even look up to. Meanwhile, over at the Leng family estate, Meng Jiayu was sitting on the couch. She was radiating such a terrifying aura that I was too scared to even breathe. After all, I was the one who stirred up all this drama. Just then, Leng Qingqiu stepped up quietly and pulled me behind her to protect me. Meng Jiayu's tone dropped, her eyes locked dead on me. "Mu Jie, tell me the absolute truth. Did Lu Rian really say those things about me?" She absolutely despised gossipers. If I dared to lie to her right now, she would show absolutely zero mercy. My heart skipped a beat. Just as I was about to open my mouth, Leng Qingqiu beat me to it. Mom, I trust Shay. He wouldn't just make things up. Don't be so harsh on him. He gets scared easily. You're going to terrify him. After saying that, Leng Qingqiu actually just grabbed my hand and led me straight upstairs. Once we were in the study, Leng Qingqiu gently lifted my chin. Her eyes were full of worry. Did she scare you? I'm right here. I was completely overwhelmed with emotion. Miss Leng, you're so sweet. A smirk crept onto Leng Qingqiu's lips. She started backing me up, step by step. If I'm so sweet, how are you going to repay me? I was so confused, my brain just completely short-circuited. I thought to myself, I just helped you expose a massive conspiracy and dodge a huge trap. Wasn't that enough? I instinctively took a step back, trying to put some distance between us. But who knew, that tiny little movement instantly fired her up. Shay, you seem terrified of me. How could I not be? You're literally the ultimate villain of this book. You're completely unpredictable. One second you're smiling, and the next second you're murdering someone. I desperately tilted my head back, terrified our lips were going to touch, and forced out the most awkward smile. Miss Leng, if I tell you something, promise you won't get mad? In the very next second, I just blurted out the craziest thing. Miss Leng, your breath stinks. When you get that close, it literally smells like an open sewer. I mentally patted myself on the back. I figured that would definitely make her back off. And sure enough, Leng Qingqiu froze completely, let go of me in a total panic, and quickly turned away. First, he cupped his hands to smell his breath, then bolted out the door. Brushing his teeth, spraying breath freshener, using mouthwash. Even after all that, he still wasn't satisfied. He actually picked up the phone and called the family doctor. Schedule a full body checkup for me immediately. Immediately, taking advantage of the distraction, I slipped out of the study. But I'd barely taken a few steps when Madame Meng suddenly appeared from around the corner. Madam, I muttered to myself. Does everyone in this family walk without making a single sound? Madame Meng's eyes were ice cold. Her usual warmth was completely gone. She knew exactly what her daughter was like. She had never been so protective of anyone before. And with Yi Jing'an's warning earlier today, the seeds of doubt had already taken root. A bodyguard raised by a ghost? He wasn't nearly good enough for her daughter. She had to act now, before their relationship was out in the open. She had to sever it completely. Come with me, she ordered. As soon as we stepped into the room, she turned her back to me. Yujie, I've settled your salary for this month. I'm adding an extra severance of 5 million. Pack your things and leave. I froze, completely blindsided. Madam, are you firing me? Is this about what happened at the art exhibition? I can explain. Madame Meng spun around sharply. Yujie, I don't like people who overstep their bounds. Be smart about this. Leave now with your dignity intact. Well, clearly, there was no room for negotiation. I lowered my head. Understood. I'll pack up right away. As for what to tell Qingqiu, I'll handle telling her. Madame Meng cut in coldly. I arrived with nothing, and I was leaving with nothing. After handing over everything that belonged to the Leng family, I stepped out the front gates. Ding! My phone buzzed. The 5 million severance had just hit my account. 1 second, I was grinning like an idiot over my sudden fortune. But the next second, I looked around the remote mountainside estate. Reality hit me like a truck. I was in the absolute middle of nowhere. That woman didn't even bother to arrange a driver for me. Left with no choice, I headed straight to Second Master Leng's side of the estate. His entire family was fussing over Leng Lingling, who had just been brought back. I didn't waste any time. Second Master, I said bluntly. Could you have your driver take me back to the Mu family? He looked surprised. Going back to the Mu family? Are you asking for time off again? No, I've been fired. The words barely left my mouth before Leng Lingling completely lost it. Sneering, she rolled up her sleeves. You little piece of trash. You ruined our plans, and now you're fired. Nobody's here to protect you anymore. Let's see how I deal with you. But just as she lunged at me, her father slapped her hard across the face. Get out of my way. He barked. Who gave you the right to speak? Stunned, she clutched her cheek. Dad, why did you hit me? He glared right back at her. Because I felt like it. Then, he quickly pulled me aside, asking with urgent curiosity. What exactly happened? Weren't things perfectly fine this morning? Did Qingqiu fire you? Or, wait, was it her mother? I waved my hand impatiently. I've already been fired. Who cares about your plans? Hurry up and have the driver take me back. Although Leng Zhongping was speechless, he quickly arranged for a driver to take me. The moment I left, the second branch of the Leng family descended into absolute chaos. Lin Ru was practically pacing with anxiety. What do we do now? Are we still going to meddle in your older brother's business? Leng Zhongping's face darkened. The plan stays exactly the same. We'll just take it one step at a time. Meanwhile, I returned to the Mu family home, and everyone reacted like they were facing a deadly threat. Zhang Qingyu's face twisted in disgust. Why are you back? I plopped my butt down on the sofa. I missed you guys. Just came back for a visit. Oh, right, Mom. Where's that house you promised to buy me last time? Zhang Qingyu instantly looked guilty. Promising to buy a house back then was just to shut me up. Who would actually spend money on this annoying pest? I knew exactly what she was thinking the moment I saw her face. I let out a cold scoff. Mom, since you didn't buy it, then I guess I'll just sleep in your room tonight. We can have a sweet little mother-son chat. No way. Leng Qingqiu shrieked in absolute terror. Her reaction was ridiculously over the top. Mu Jianhua immediately stepped in to smooth things over. Xiaojie, Leng Qingqiu actually let you come back? Hurry up and head back. If something goes wrong, it's gonna be really hard for us to explain. He even shot a meaningful look at his eldest daughter. Yulu, take your brother back. Madame Meng doesn't approve of us being together. I've been dumped. My job was my baby. And losing it is basically like having a miscarriage. What? You got an abortion? Leng Qingqiu looked utterly shocked. Yet, there wasn't a single ounce of genuine worry in her eyes. Afraid they wouldn't buy it, I slapped my own thigh hard, tearing up from the sudden sting. I didn't want to get rid of it either, but Madame Meng said I wasn't good enough for her son. She forced me to do it. I'm completely homeless now. You guys can't just abandon me. I'm your actual flesh and blood. Hearing this tearful wail, Leng Qingqiu's heart instantly softened. She actually bought it. She grabbed my hand and patted it gently. Xiaojie, don't cry. Your health is what's most important. Mu Jianhua also let out a heavy sigh. He had thought they could use me to climb the social ladder, but they didn't get a single perk out of it. And now his son had ended up tossed out on the street. However, Mu Meiyu, was gloating with absolute glee. Serves you right. You are a total disgrace to the Mu family. Having a shameless brother like you makes me sick to my stomach. I turned to look at Mu Yulu. Big sis, please don't yell at me. Now that I'm back, I can properly help you take care of Mu Chuan. That single sentence choked Mu Yulu up so badly she was left speechless. She could only storm upstairs with a dark expression. Immediately after, I tightly squeezed Leng Qingqiu's hand. Mom, I know you guys don't like me. I have absolutely nothing left now. You're all I have. I won't fight with Mu Chuan anymore. If you want to bring him back, or give him the inheritance, that's totally fine. Just please don't kick me out. Leng Qingqiu looked instantly relieved. She thought I had finally grown up. But then, I completely flipped the script. Mom, Dad, just to avoid any family drama, why don't you buy me a luxury penthouse downtown? I'll move out. A luxury penthouse costs at least 20 million. Leng Qingqiu and Mu Jianhua exchanged a quick look. They reached a silent agreement in seconds. Now that I had lost my backing, it was the perfect time to bring Mu Chuan back. What's one house to them, anyway? Mu Jianhua made the call on the spot. We've actually already reserved a 380 square meter penthouse. We can transfer the deed to you tomorrow. That was originally meant to be Mu Chuan's wedding home. But now, it was the perfect bait to keep me quiet. With the deal settled, I stayed at the Mu family mansion for the time being. I purposely picked the bedroom right next to Mu Meiyu's. At 3 a.m., I woke up needing to use the bathroom. I quietly slipped out of my window. Then, sticking to the wall like a gecko, I shimmied along the ledge and snuck straight into Mu Meiyu's room. She was dead to the world, snoring away. Her phone screen was still glowing in the dark. I crept inside, grabbed her phone to mess with a few things, and then I started hiding Mu Chuan's boxers in every corner of her room. I even shoved a pair right into her own pajama pants. After my masterpiece was complete, I slipped back into my room like a ghost, and went right back to a peaceful sleep. Bright and early the next morning, just as I expected, explosive screaming erupted from next door. Meiyu, what the hell is this stuff you sent me? Do you have a thing for Xiao Chuan? Mu Meiyu, still half asleep, stared at a furious Mu Yulu in total confusion. Big sis, what are you even talking about? Smack. A stinging slap jolted her wide awake. Ah, Mu Yulu, have you lost your damn mind? I was practically glued to the wall next door. I was dying to rush over and grab some popcorn for the live drama. I could hear Mu Yulu suppressing her absolute rage. Mu Meiyu, you better drop those filthy thoughts of yours right now. Or I swear, I will ship you out of the country. Mu Meiyu was totally bewildered. What kind of feelings could she possibly have for Mu Chuan? That was her own brother. But right at that moment, a maid walked in holding a pair of men's. Second miss, I found this shoved in your pants. This is. She recognized immediately that it belonged to Mu Chuan. Before the maid could even finish her sentence, she was met with Mu Yulu's murderous glare. Mu Meiyu, how dare you? Blinded by rage, Mu Yulu threw a heavy punch, smashing it right into Mu Meiyu's face. The maid screamed in terror, but Mu Yulu shot her a deadly warning. Not a word of this leaves this room. You know exactly what will happen. Slam. The door shut tight, and Mu Meiyu's agonizing screams echoed through the walls. Oh man, listening from next door was absolute perfection. I knew Mu Yulu had always treated Mu Chuan as her own personal property. Now, even her own flesh and blood had become the enemy. How could she not be furious? But with a scandal this dirty, she only dared to handle it behind closed doors. I stretched out, feeling totally refreshed, and headed downstairs. Leng Qingqiu had already gone to the gym. Aside from the maids in the house, No one knew that the sisters upstairs were tearing each other apart. Half an hour later, Mu Yulu and Mu Meiyu came downstairs, their faces covered in bruises. Mu Meiyu was absolutely livid. She suddenly screamed at me. Mu Jie, did you do this? She slammed her phone down right in front of me. I miss you so much. Please come back, okay? My heart literally aches from missing you. You're in all my dreams. These incredibly explicit messages were actually sent from her phone, straight to our oldest sister, Mu Yulu. No wonder Mu Yulu lost her damn mind. Mu Meiyu roared at me. Did you use my phone to send these? Of course, I played dumb. Second sister, what the hell are you talking about? I haven't even touched your phone. If you're going to frame me, you need proof. Check the security cameras. Mu Meiyu immediately called the bodyguards over. But after watching the footage for over an hour, the cameras showed that once I went into my room, I never came back out. Mu Meiyu was completely dumbfounded. What? Did she think I could just scale the walls from the second floor window? Right at that moment, Leng Qingqiu came back from her yoga class. The second I saw her, I threw myself at her. Mom, second sister is trying to frame me, before I could even finish. Mu Meiyu slapped her hand over my mouth with lightning speed. Mom, I just yelled at him a little bit, and now he's trying to tattle on me. Leng Qingqiu shot her a glare. Your brother's health is fragile. Stop bullying him. The second Leng Qingqiu went upstairs. Mu Meiyu, you absolute creep. Actually sending perverted messages to your own adopted brother? Disgusting. I made a show of heading up the stairs to tell on her. Mu Meiyu grabbed my arm. If our parents find out about this, they would absolutely break her legs. But honestly, she was still totally lost. It was supposed to just be normal sisterly affection. How the hell did it turn out like this? Don't you dare say a word, she threatened, her face turning ice cold. But I was feeling rebellious. Who the hell do you think you are? You think I'm just gonna shut up because you told me to? Mu Meiyu swallowed her rage. Then what do you want? Later, Mom is taking me to transfer the house deed. You're going to make Mom notarize the property for me. That house will belong to me, and me alone. And from now on, you have to have my back in this house. When she didn't say anything, I turned my head and yelled, Mom, second sister is fine. I promise you. Mu Meiyu ground her teeth together. But I wasn't letting her off the hook that easily. You're scaring me. I'm telling Mom. Mu Meiyu was completely defeated. I'm sorry, okay? I was wrong. Last night, you called me shameless. Fine, I'm the shameless one, okay? You said I was disgusting. I'm the disgusting one, okay? Only then did I nod in satisfaction. Second sister, you really are disgusting. Tisk tisk. How could you send such creepy messages to your own adopted brother? Shut your mouth. Mom, for God's sake, you win. I was wrong, okay?